You're watching the SEC on ABC, presented by Burger King. Today, Kalen DeBoer and the Alabama Crimson Tide return home to Bryant-Denny Stadium off an impressive win last Saturday night at Georgia. The Tide rolling to 3 straight wins, led by quarterback Ty Simpson, who's emerged as a Heisman Trophy contender. Diego Pavia and the Vanderbilt Commodores arrive in Tuscaloosa 5-0 for the first time since 2008 and just the second time in 80 years, led by Coach Clark Lee in his 5th season at his alma mater. Today, the 16th ranked Commodores and number 10 Vandy meet as ranked opponents for the first time since 1937. It's the 69th meeting between them since then. Last year when they met in Nashville, Alabama was number 1 in the country. Vanderbilt was 2-2, but Vandy had a 2-point lead late in the 3rd quarter. Pavia to junior Sherrill extended the lead. Ryan Williams, a 58-yard catch and run, got Bama back within 2, but another Pavia touchdown pass put the game away. Vanderbilt had its first and still only win against a top 5 opponent. The goalpost came down in Nashville. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the All-State Kickoff. I'm Sean McDonough along with Greg McElroy. Delighted to have you with us. And Greg, ever since that game a year ago in Nashville, Vandy determined to prove it was not a fluke, and they're doing that. Not only are they 5-0, they've won all 5 of those games by 20 points or more, and it's Diego Pavia who has demonstrated he is one of the very best players in the country.
He's certainly one of the most entertaining. He is just electric when he's on the field, but when you watch him over this first year at Vanderbilt, he was just a great football player. Now he's a great quarterback. He has really advanced from an efficiency standpoint, from an accuracy standpoint. He's driving the ball into tight windows, and as a result, the passing attack with an improved receiver core has really stepped up and make this offense even more difficult to defend than it was a year ago.
He is a dynamic dual-threat quarterback. He is also confident and brash, and with more on that, here's Molly McGrath.
Well, Sean, Diego Pavia's confidence completely changed the identity of this team. Earlier this week, he said if we play our game, it won't be close, predicting a blowout of the Tide, and his teammates have been repeating that message all week long and told us Pavia's confidence, the reason why they beat Alabama last year and why they believe they can do it again. And Alabama's defensive players well aware of that quote from Pavia. You could feel the tension when we asked Captain Deontay Lawson about it. Lawson admitted they've used it as motivation this week, reminding each other of Pavia's words at the end of tough practices, stressing to stay disciplined so they can take away that confidence, Sean.
Well, last year, Alabama went to Nashville off a win against Georgia in one of the best games of the season in college football. Caught off guard a little bit by how good the Doors were. That will not be the case this season. They know how good they are. Again, coming into this one off a win against Georgia. 3 straight wins. It's a program that's really been playing with an edge and coaching with an edge since that surprising opening loss at Florida State.
The response has been outstanding, and their quarterback, Ty Simpson, Kirby Smart even went as far as to say he might be the hottest quarterback in college football right now. And since that game against Louisiana Monroe, he is threading the needle. Most impressively, though, he's attacking vulnerable spots on the defense between the hashes. Not many college quarterbacks are going to attack right down the middle. He's doing it time and time again with tremendous efficiency. If he could take advantage of an untested secondary, it would be very difficult for this Vanderbilt team to keep up.
An Alabama team that has not turned the ball over this season through 4 games. Alabama's won 14 in a row here at home, trying to extend that winning streak against Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt. The opening kickoff in a moment. You've been watching the All-State Kickoff.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I didn't check if doing the Georgia bark at my boss would be appropriate. Go, dogs!
Yeah. So we need to...
Sick 'em! And it's not. Checking Allstate first was smart. Barking at my boss, dumb. At least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds.
Hey, bark boy.
These guys are crazy.
911, what's your emergency?
We form a bond stronger than blood. Because ours is a family forged in fire.
There's things about him that you're not aware of. You're trying to steal my husband.
You stole him first.
Hell to save, kid.
Number 1 ranked team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, arrives. Diego Pavia on the other side is looking for the game of his lifetime.
One play at a time. Be focused in your detail. Let's go. We don't mean 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Milroe near side, batted up, and it is intercepted. And Vandy's got a 2-score lead. Pavia wants to throw. Caught! Touchdown! Milroe directing, and he gets drilled. Lost the football.
It's Pavia. He rolls toward the right. He throws, and it's caught by Cameron Johnson. Touchdown! Vanderbilt! Is this real life? Vanderbilt beats Alabama for the first time in a generation. The greatest moment in Vanderbilt football history. Vandy fans, have your moment.
Led by Captain Swagger, and that is Diego Pavia. As we take a closer look at the keys of the game for Vandy, will be what, Boog?
For me, it's got to be Diego Pavia, Kev. I think he's got to be the dual-threat quarterback. What does that mean? I think he's got to run the football 12, 15 times. He's got to get 70 yards. But where he's improved the most is throwing the football, being accurate down the field. If you're going to beat this Alabama team, he's going to have to complete 70% of his passes, and a couple of them are going to have to be deep. You're going to have to back this Alabama defense up, Kev. And for those who say that may not be attainable, may I warn you, he's almost 75% completion percentage on the season right now. Can he do it in a big game against Alabama?
They are 5-0. The offense has scored at least 30 points in all 5 games this season, as we have live pictures coming in of Pavia under 10 minutes away from kickoff. On the other side, the quarterback play is a big discussion here for Alabama, and what you've seen from Ty Simpson, a completely different quarterback after week 1.
Well, it's been different, Kev, and it's needed. Think of Alabama just can't run the football. They thought Jam Miller coming back was going to be key. They averaged 3 yards a carry against the Georgia Bulldogs last week. It's been all Ty Simpson, and not just dinking and dunking and throwing the football to the flats. He's been pushing the football down the field, Kev. Think about this. Against the Georgia Bulldogs, 24, 38, 276, and 2 touchdowns, and they needed all that. His field generalship, his ability to command the huddle. Now, if he can just get young Ryan Williams to catch the football, which he's had a hard time doing so far, this offense is starting to look like what Ryan Grubbs and Kalen DeBoer thought it would be.
Yeah, by the way, Williams has, something that we didn't expect. 4 drop passes this season, second most in the SEC. And as Williams gets ready, what are you seeing from this young man? He just doesn't look comfortable yet.
It almost looks like he's pressing, like he's thinking about what could be down the road, the NFL and all the riches. And right now he's trying to make every play a big play. Just go out and do it like we did when we were in high school. Yeah. Just catch the football, have some fun. If he starts having fun, I think he'll think less about catching the football. And it's amazing the tricks that our mind plays on.
Jeremy Bernard has been fantastic for this offense when Williams is not on track. By the way, Bama favored by 12.5 points. This game will come down to what, Boog?
I think it comes down to the quarterback standpoint, which quarterback can take over the game. I don't think either team's going to be able to run the football. If you're Diego Pavia, can you control the game with your legs and your arm? If you're Ty Simpson, it's really simple. He's got no turnovers this year.
Yes.
Can you continue that in a game like this, not try to do too much? The quarterbacks will play a big key.
No turnovers is key. Alabama has no turnovers all season, so they've been protecting the football on offense no matter what.
2 biggest keys in football, Kev, turnovers and big plays. Watch those 2 determining factors in this game.
Cannot wait. Kickoff coming your way right now. We'll see you at the half.
All right, gentlemen, thank you, and welcome back, everybody, to Tuscaloosa. We mentioned it a moment ago, first ranked matchup since 1937 in this rivalry. It's just the 10th time in Vanderbilt history that it's playing a ranked versus ranked game, and it's 136 years of football history at Vanderbilt. 6 of the previous 9 took place before 1960. But they're ranked because of this start. Impressive road wins at Virginia Tech, and especially at then number 11 South Carolina. They're piling up the points, led by Diego Pavia. Dealing with the Alabama crowd, more than 100,000 on hand on a beautiful day. They had the loss to Florida State to open the year, shocking in part because the Seminoles won only 2 games last year. But they have recovered very nicely with those 3 wins and ready to host Vanderbilt You heard Nick Saban say on game day this morning, it's not supposed to be about revenge, but today for Alabama it is, against Clark Lee and his Vanderbilt Commodores. And he had no problem, Greg, when we spoke with him about Pavia's comments about if they play their game, it won't be close. He said, we need a little bit of that brashness.
Amazingly, I think Diego Pavia, his energy, his confidence, it's not just helped the offense. Naturally, it helps that side of the ball, but it's really lifted up the whole team. Everybody responds to his positivity, and he is almost the exclusive reason why this team is in this position about a year and a half into his tenure as the starting quarterback.
Second season since transferring in from New Mexico State. He played a huge role in lifting up the Aggie program in Las Cruces. He's done it again in Nashville. The win at Georgia last Saturday night lessened the heat on Kalen DeBoer, at least for 1 week. But lose 2 years in a row to Vanderbilt, the heat gets turned up and then some. So many of the players and coaches we talked to for Alabama yesterday, Greg, used the word edge. Since that loss to Florida State, playing with an edge, and clearly that edge is on display when you talk to Kalen DeBoer, usually a pretty easygoing guy, showing some more intensity. He said, I'm just doing it because I think that's what my team needs.
And it's been impressive to see the response, like we referenced earlier. I mean, when the game against Florida State happened, they were kind of backed into a corner, into a bunker, if you will. And us against the world mentality all of a sudden became very real within the program. It's, I think, in some ways, if you ask people internally, the best thing for this team long term might have been that wake-up call they experienced at the hands of the Seminoles.
Let's take a look at the All-State kickoff spotlight. 87th meeting all time. Alabama's won the last 9 here. Vanderbilt actually won the first 5 meetings in 8 of the first 10 from 1903 back to 1929. So it's been even more tilted toward Alabama for most of the history. Here's Molly again.
Coach, we know your team is confident after taking down the Tide last season. How powerful is confidence and belief in this hostile setting?
You know, honestly, none of this is about last year. This is about a new team and a team that is confident. And obviously the environment's great, but that's for us. It's not against us. And we have to operate well to not invite all these fans into the game. But I'm really proud of this team, and I'm excited to be out here with them.
How can your quarterback, Diego Pavia, be his best self here today?
I think just be himself. You know, I mean, he doesn't need to be anything more or anything less than who he is. That's what makes him great. Bring his personality, lead the way for the guys. He does that every day. So, again, this is his moment and his stage, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm looking forward to watching him.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And Pavia will be facing a shorthanded Crimson Tide defense as linebacker Quay Rusa out indefinitely with a foot injury sustained in last week's game. Jamarian Latham also out for the rest of the season. And their starting defensive tackle, James Smith, will miss the first half with a targeting penalty, Sean.
So the defense shorthanded as they take on this dynamic Vanderbilt offense. Both coaches agree this is a much better Vanderbilt team than the one that beat Alabama last year. That team a year ago finished 7-6 and beat Georgia Tech in the Birmingham Bowl. They have much higher aspirations. Matter of fact, among the many things Pavia said this week, he thinks they're the best team in the country.
It's amazing. And he said championships are the standard. That's the standard. No one believed it outside of Clark Lee. But with what's happened here in the first 5 weeks, it's pretty amazing to see exactly the relationship those two have and where they vision this program at the top of the sport.
Trying to go to 6-0 for the first time since 1928. And Clark Lee said when he spoke to Pavia, tried to get him to transfer from New Mexico State, he said Diego Pavia told him, if you bring me there, we'll win championships. And Clark Lee said, thank goodness, it's about time I don't have to convince somebody that it's possible at Vanderbilt. Vandy won the toss and deferred, so the Commodores will kick off. Brock Taylor, strong-legged kicker with the breeze at his back, will boot it away. Lazir Brooks, the freshman, is the deepest. Cole Adams also back on a gorgeous day in Tuscaloosa with the temperature in the low 80s and bright sunny skies. Here's Brooks. Nice return. Alabama will begin across the 25-yard line. Prince Colley made the tackle for Vanderbilt. So here comes Ty Simpson. Very accurate, completing just under 70% of his passes. He had a game against ULM in which he completed all 17 of his passes. 11 touchdowns without an interception, tied with Luke Altmaier of Illinois, Drew Mestamaker of North Texas for the most in the country. They actually spotted the ball right on the 25. Simpson, a 22-year-old redshirt junior, with Jam Miller opening on his right hip. They go out of the gun, and Miller's ahead for a yard. Tackled by Corday Sidner, excellent defensive end. And part of a Vandy defense that's been very good, particularly against the run, giving up just under 80 yards per game to their opponents on the ground.
And Alabama very aware of that strength. Vanderbilt in the front seven, very deep, very athletic, and difficult to run against. But Brian Grubb stresses the importance of staying patient and committed to the run in this ball game.
Jam Miller went out wide, then he came back to the left side. He took the handoff and has a first down. Alabama needs to get the running game going. It has sputtered in part because Miller missed the first 3 games of the year with a collarbone injury.
A great job with a couple pullers out in front, right guard and Brailsford, the center, getting out and getting a piece of Commodores. And if you talk to Ryan Grubb, they felt like last week against Georgia was their best game running the football. They felt like they were close. They have to get Jam Miller in one-on-one situations against secondary defenders, and that's a huge point of emphasis in this game.
Ryan Williams went in motion. Simpson looking in his direction and throws over the middle instead, and it's dropped by Jeremy Bernard. There is a flag down back behind the line of scrimmage. Martell Height and C.J. Hurd had the coverage.
To the face. Defense, number 20. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Daniel Gautreaux leading the Southeastern Conference officiating crew, and a big penalty against Clark Lee's Commodores.
Right there on the end of the line of scrimmage, the right hand going up into the face mask of Formby. And Capers kind of dislodges that chin strap up around the face, and that's what leads to the call.
Capers is disruptive. 7.5 tackles for a loss through their 5 games. Most in the SEC per game. Out of the pistol now. And the quick pass. Bernard hangs on to this one and then swung across the boundary by Colby Taylor. Well, they're trying to emulate what they did last week against Georgia, and they set the tone early with a terrific opening drive that resulted in a touchdown after 14 plays.
And some of the best teams they faced this year against Florida State and against Georgia, they started fast, and that's imperative in this game because last year against Vanderbilt, they were down 13-0 and had just 3 offensive snaps with a pick 6. So starting fast, a huge point of emphasis for Kalen DeBoer.
Josh Cuevas, the tight end, the move man. Miller again got the first down before he was knocked back. A 6-yard gain. Jalen Stone, defensive tackle, made the stop on Miller.
It's great to have Jam Miller back in the lineup for the Tide, and he got hurt in the second scrimmage, had to miss the first 3 games with a collarbone injury, but he's their biggest back. He's their most experienced back and also their most effective in the pass game as well. So his return last week, a huge boost to this offense.
Kevin Riley comes in for him. Riley running left. Trying to bounce outside, and he couldn't get there. Jalen Stone there again for the Commodores. Clark Lee's a defensive coach. Last year, he was also his own defensive coordinator. He turned those duties over this season to Steve Gregory, who calls the defenses. There's Gregory.
Gregory has done a great job of being slightly more aggressive over the last few weeks. They've been more active in pressure. They have a pretty good pass rush. They like their personnel on defense. They're just a little concerned, I think, about how their corners will hold up against an elite passing attack with two great weapons at wide receiver.
Alabama goes empty on 2nd and 9. The middle screen. Josh Cuevas knocked down at the 32. They'll need 4 on 3rd down. Last week at Georgia, Alabama converted on its first 8 3rd downs.
Possible 4-down territory here, knowing that the field goal kicking unit's been a little bit shaky.
Riley remains the running back. The fake to him. Ryan Williams stopped short of the line to gain by about a yard, and an early decision for Kalen DeBoer. Langston Patterson made the tackle, an excellent linebacker, part of an excellent linebacking tandem alongside Brian Longwell. Big bodies coming on. Bama's going to go for it on 4th down and a yard.
And not surprising, Kalen DeBoer is one of the more aggressive offensive minds as a head coach when it comes to keeping his offense on the field in 4-down territory. Expect a handoff here.
Jam Miller back in. Simpson under center. And they're going to be aggressive and throw a deep ball, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Martell Height. The first turnover of the year committed by Alabama. And the first interception thrown by Ty Simpson, who was trying to get it to Josh Cuevas. Aggressive call, and it did not pay off for Simpson and the Tide.
Kalen DeBoer decides to roll the dice. They try to take a shot downfield, and Simpson never sees the defender underneath, who picks it off deep in their territory.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance.
Please welcome Charles Woodson.
Unfortunately, I didn't check to see if anyone was watching before I stole cotton candy from a child. Checking Allstate first was really smart. Not checking the Jumbotron, not smart. Well, at least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds. Was it worth it? Yeah.
Carne asada is back at Chipotle.
It's our best steak ever.
Fresh, no bad stuff.
With garlic.
Cumin, coriander. It's super tender.
Juicy. People love it. And it's so good with our new red chimichurri.
You're gonna want to put it on everything. 10 out of 10 flavor.
Hi, I got this old thing and the bill from the store where I got it. Figured you could beat it with a better deal on one of these big boys.
That doesn't work that way.
Well, at Verizon, anyone can bring in their AT&T or T-Mobile bill and they'll give you a better deal.
Oh, Verizon was pricey.
No, better deal, best 5G network. Back to the TV. Does it come higher than 8K? Because I don't like to squint.
Ma'am, take your TV and go.
Bring your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to Verizon for a better deal.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
You don't know that? Don't mind Kevin. He's on week 4 of his DoorDash streaks. This week he's got the delicious Arby's beef and cheddar. That's a lot of eating energy.
Win every week with DoorDash Streaks. Opt in, order every Saturday, build the savings.
Hi, Susan. Honey.
Yeah?
I respect that, but that cough looks pretty bad. Try this Robitussin honey.
The only brand with True Source certified honey.
Mind if I root through your trash?
Robitussin, the powerful cough relief you need.
When you're traveling with 3 kids and pretty much everything they own,
Hi, guys. Welcome.
it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
Papa John's went all in creating a new Papa Dipper. Our first pizza designed for dipping. It comes with the garlic sauce flight, 3 new flavors plus the original. This is dipping done better. the new Papa Dipper. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I reward full-time fans. Check out this recruit. The ultimate tailgater doesn't just show up, she shows out. This full-time fan deserves a Modelo.
LAPD on scene.
Over 8 seasons,
Get off the field!
911 has faced every emergency on Earth. And Thursday, they'll go where no first responders have gone before.
911, what is your emergency?
Bama fans trying to make it difficult for Diego Pavia and the Vanderbilt offense. They begin from their own 7. Had Height knocked the ball down on 4th down. The line of scrimmage would have been the 29. But he picked it off, the 4th of his career, and on the first play from scrimmage, Cedric Alexander, their leading running back, gets them 4 yards. Here are the numbers for Diego Pavia, tied with Joey Aguilar of Tennessee for most touchdown passes in the Southeastern Conference.
And he has really been good throwing the football. Last year, so much of his effectiveness came off schedule, where he breaks the pocket, breaks contain, makes a play downfield. Now he's proven that he can really win from the pocket and drive the ball to any part of the field.
Graduate student from Albuquerque, New Mexico, on target to his best friend Eli Stowers, and it's an incomplete pass. Unusual for the preseason All-American tight end Stowers not to make the play.
Saw right there, did he have control with that right foot down before the left foot goes down? It's kind of bang bang, and the officials are going to take a look at it. Does look like he secures it with that right foot in bounds.
The previous play is under video review.
We'll hear from David Almond in the replay booth when we come back.
The new Monster Menu is now at Burger King.
Really?
Frightfully fun for all families. Sink your teeth into the new Monster Menu at BK.
You rule.
Big time savings are going on now at Mavis Tire. It's time to save big with Mavis Tire.
Get your big time savings started early with Mavis Tire.
Get premium service without the premium price.
At Mavis, you can always trust our experts for honest service.
Depend on us to keep you driving.
Dependable people.
Dependable people. Dependable people depend on Mavis. Depend on Mavis.
Depend on Mavis.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
A successful shindig doesn't happen by accident. Walmart Plus members get free delivery on more than just groceries. So I can order up Gouda and a good time! Who knew? Who knew? Become a member who knows better with Walmart Plus.
Trick or treat!
Uh-oh. Who didn't refill the M&Ms?
They're talking about us!
No, you don't.
M&M's, it's more fun together.
Hello, City. You killed me.
It's the grabber.
It took me a long time to find you.
You brought us here for a reason.
You're dead. You help people know that dead is just a word.
Rated R. Only in theaters October 17th.
A superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer.
Because sometimes we feel guilty. Give more love than humanly possible when you feed a Hill's scientifically proven formula. Because you're only human, there's Hill's.
SEC on ABC College Football is presented by Burger King. You rule.
Well, after replay review, the call was overturned. It is a catch, and it's a good overturn by David Allman. 1 foot in bounds, and he wasn't bobbling it. He's just turning the ball and bringing it into his body. So it's a gain to the 17 and just enough for a first down for Vanderbilt. Pavia out of the pistol now with Cedric Alexander behind him. 3 wide receivers on the field for offensive coordinator Tim Beck. Tristan Brown went in motion, and he makes the catch. And a tough run after the catch. Finally stopped just short of the line to gain by Deshaun Jones. 9 yards for Vanderbilt. Today's impact players are presented by the Home Depot.
It starts with Eli Stowers in this passing attack. He's been so good at tight end. A lot like Evan Ingram in his skill set. Can run, can create kind of a jumbo slot. A really good player. And then on the other side, Yanze Pierre, who's been thrust into extensive action with the injury to Quay Rousseau. But talking to Kane Womack, the defensive coordinator, they believe he might be their best pure pass rusher and one of their best players on defense.
On 2nd and 1, Pavia got walloped, and the crowd loves that. Plastered by Justin Jefferson. Edric Hill there as well for Alabama. He's getting the start with James Smith sitting out the first half.
Well, I think it's very important for Alabama throughout this game to get as many violent hits as they can on Diego Pavia. He's a guy that thrives under pressure, a guy that thrives with contact, and that time too with Jefferson coming in, got to keep your head up. That could have potentially been stopped to take a peek at possible targeting.
Cedric Alexander, the running back. Pavia is a tough guy. State champion wrestler in high school in New Mexico. He's on target to junior Sherrill. Domani Jackson made the tackle. 6-yard gain for the Commodores.
This is such a difficult offense to try to face. Their offensive coordinator, Tim Beck, does such a great job creating hesitation defensively. They have a lot of moving parts. They force defenses to have a lot of eye violations, which lead to big plays. He's one of the best offensive minds in the sport.
Came over from New Mexico State, where he coached Pavia for 2 years. Diego followed shortly thereafter. On 2nd and 4, Alexander breaks free. They're going to try to run him down, and they will not. Touchdown, Vanderbilt, 65 yards. That's been a problem for Alabama. They've given up some big runs. Brock Taylor on for the extra point. Vanderbilt with the ball for the first time goes 93 yards, the last 65 by the junior from Austin, Texas.
Cedric Alexander wearing 28 for his idol, Adrian Peterson. Breaks to the outside and wins the race to the end zone to put the Doors on the board early.
Yeah. Every Al has something to protect.
I don't think I'm doing this right.
Al Chun.
Can you hand me that pink cup?
Alan Hagan.
I'm not going to spend my retirement on land.
Als who start a business.
She's the boss now.
And pass it down. Competitive Als.
It's actually Allie.
Weird Als.
My friends think I'm normal.
Whoever you are, you've got something to protect.
You know, look at the camera.
And with investment, retirement, and insurance know-how, Prudential can help protect your life's work.
There you are.
Who's your rock?
What you doing, Zach?
My T-Mobile home internet is so good. I wish I could tell the whole world.
Zach, go right ahead.
T-Mobile's got home internet!
T-Mobile's got home internet!
It's just $35 a month, guaranteed for 5 years. 5 years.
I'm switching! Whoa, that's 2! T-Mobile's got home internet, just $35 a month, and it's guaranteed for 5 years.
We put it through the worst, so you get its best. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. From the first bite to the last bite, that bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, you have those three things together, and it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Real guests paid for their testimonial.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
My wife told me my hair was thinning, and I wanted to avoid that at all costs.
Let's go, baby. I stopped hanging out with the guys because I didn't want to hear the wisecracks. So I did some research and found Nutrafol, which was cool because I had no idea there was a supplement for hair.
I liked that it was drug-free and then it was clinically tested.
My hair was getting stronger and thicker.
Nutrafol has just given me more confidence, which allows me to carry myself a little taller.
It felt real good to ditch the hat.
Hair growth starts from the inside at Nutrafol.com/men.
Some trips are felt beyond words. From sun-drenched days to starlit nights. No one connects you to the Caribbean like Princess. Princess Cruises, sailing the Caribbean. Book now.
They're revved up for a big game. We're in for a good night.
Diego Pavia ran the length of the field to celebrate with Cedric Alexander, the longest play from scrimmage of the season for Vanderbilt. A 65-yard touchdown. They went 93 yards on their first possession of the game. And they lead 7-0. As Brock Taylor kicks off for the second time. Returnable again for Lazier Brooks. Ran into traffic, bounced off it, and goes down shy of the 25 with a 17-yard return.
Let's take a look at this last touchdown on the AT&T Connected Cam. If you look at these defenders, they are not fitting the run well in the secondary. Kane Womack has said the big problem is not with the front seven when it comes to stopping the run. It's the secondary players. And that time, Damani Jackson, who's out wide, and Bray Hubbard, who's playing as the deep safety, they don't locate Alexander behind a really good initial surge from Vanderbilt's offensive line. That's a tremendous call, but really poor run fits from the Bama secondary.
Which, as you said, the coaches have been talking about a lot. The run fits and the tackling in the back end. They're also not as big and strong and deep as they used to be up front of the Alabama defense. Simpson off target, looking for Josh Cuevas. Molly?
Well, Sean, after Martell Height's interception and after that touchdown, Vanderbilt players telling each other on the sideline the same thing. Do not let this game be close. Repeating quarterback Diego Pavia's prediction that this will be a lopsided game. Players embracing that belief, telling each other to prove everyone in this building wrong. You can see that they've really bought into that message in this game, Sean.
It is a very confident team. And they're determined to prove that it's not just talk, that they can back it up. They have so far stopped the fourth down with the interception by Height. Flag down as Jam Miller went weaving up the middle.
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains second down.
Parker Brailsford, the excellent center who transferred from Washington following Kalen DeBoer.
Got to be a frustrating start for Kalen DeBoer. A poor decision from his quarterback, who's been lights out, and maybe the best player on the offensive line, Parker Brailsford, flagged with an early hold.
First career interception for Simpson. He had thrown 180 passes without one. 3 years as a backup. This is his first year as the starter. The side judge stopped the play and communicated via headset with the referee Daniel Gautreau. It doesn't seem like his mic's working.
Please reset the game clock to 6 minutes, 17 seconds, and the play clock to 25. Both the game clock and the play clock will start on my signal.
Second down 20. Simpson surrounded. Beautiful throw and a great leaping catch. Isaiah Horton almost went off to the races. Martell Height tackled him. But a terrific catch and run by Horton, who's made an immediate impact as a transfer from Miami.
And Ryan Grubb called him their most dependable wide receiver. You see the length at 6'4" right there, going up, stretching vertically. Height gets a little bit too far inside. Simpson sees it. And a great play by Horton, plucking it out of the air.
15th catch of the year. He had 5 and a touchdown in the win at Georgia last Saturday night. 36-yard gain, big hole, Jam Miller inside the 30. Marlon Sewell made the tackle. 22 for Jam Miller.
And a great job kicking out by the guard. Watch Vandermark, 56, how he kicks out the end man on the line of scrimmage. Capers sets the edge. Good follow there by Cuevas, and it's out the gate.
And they're going quickly. Under 5 minutes to go now in the opening quarter. 7-0 Vanderbilt. On the delay, Kevin Riley with a flag down behind the line of scrimmage. Martell Height and Brian Longwell there. It's going against Bama.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Cam Dewberry, the left guard.
Looked like Dewberry, who was engaged on the draw. It's right here, and as soon as looks like Riley tries to break to the outside, watch Dewberry's left hand grabs that shoulder and does not really let go. Drags the defender to the ground. Kalen DeBoer frustrated though with the call.
It looked like he tackled him. So 2 penalties on this possession. They overcame the first one on the long pass to Horton. They line up Jeremy Bernard in the backfield with one player on either side of Simpson, who faked it to Bernard. Zings one over the middle, and another nice catch, this one by Rico Scott. You mentioned it at the outset. Kalen DeBoer says Ty Simpson throws that ball over the middle about as well as anybody's ever seen.
He is so effective on the right into the teeth of the defense.
11-yard gain to the redshirt freshman Scott. Simpson shoveled it ahead, and it got deflected out of bounds. Good hands by Nick Rinaldi, who got in the way. Senior from beautiful Dover, Massachusetts, just outside Boston.
Play here where Ty Simpson's going to have to be smart. Right on the fringe of field goal range. You can think at this point might get some pressure from Vanderbilt to try to knock you out. So the ball's got to come out quickly, and you absolutely cannot take a sack.
Tight bunch of 3 receivers to Simpson's left. He gets hit as he throws, and it's over the head of Brooks. Good pressure. Steve Gregory dials up a lot of pressure, leading that Commodore defense.
That's Rinaldi now, 2 plays in a row. He's lined up right here, lined up on the other side, and he just swoops right inside. If the circle button would go and grab the guy. Watch him against Vandermark. Just splits right inside that right guard, forces the errant throw.
Connor Talty on to try a field goal. The 47 yards from just inside the left hash mark into a bit of a breeze. He has enough leg to get it there. And it is no good. So not much going right for Alabama through the first 11 minutes plus. An impressive start on the road for Vanderbilt.
Like the snap was pretty good, hold was pretty good, and Talty just pushes it a little bit too wide to the right.
That would have been a career long. As you saw, he had plenty of leg. Previous career best 1 yard shorter at 46. Clark Lee fired up, 2004 graduate of Vanderbilt. Both undergraduate and graduate degrees in political science. Played fullback at Vandy. He's a Nashville native doing a great job back in his hometown, thanks in large part to Diego Pavia. Here they come on offense again, but first a flag.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Cade McConnell, the left guard, transfer from Minnesota. Clark Lee's in his 5th year. 2 years ago they went 2-10 and floundering to say the least. He made a number of changes on the coaching staff and strength and conditioning and how they approach that. But Pavia, the biggest difference maker in this turnaround. He is James L. Lassiter, a walk-on running back in the game. Pavia pulls it down. He's into the secondary and shoved out of bounds on the far sideline by Justin Jefferson. 36 yards on the run.
Another issue here in the secondary. Watch, here's the player for Alabama. He's got to go in there and make the play. He's unblocked. He's got to be the guy. In Brown, he's unblocked. He plays it way too far to the outside, never locates Pavia, and Pavia gashes it right up the middle. So another play, another big run created by Vanderbilt because of a poor run fit from Alabama's secondary.
Mom Antoinette here. Diego raised by a single mother. His 2 brothers and a sister. They're all close. He dumps it off over the middle. Cole Spence, the backup tight end, has another first down inside the 30. Justin Jefferson the play again. Pavia and the Doors have the tide on its heels.
Not sure you could draw up a better start for Diego Pavia. Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator. They got the run game going. They've involved almost all the guys they want to involve in the passing game. The offensive line's playing very well.
Tim Beck has an offense that's just perfect for Pavia and this improved cast around him. Much better up front and on the perimeter than they were a year ago. Wide open receiver. First down. Richie Hoskins, the former walk-on, a transfer from Middlebury in Vermont, with a 15-yard gain.
And Alabama's implemented a lot more zone coverage this year. And right here it's zone coverage, which leads to pockets in the defense. Last year they were predominantly man. They've made that adjustment in large part due to the performance against Vanderbilt, and now they take advantage of that zone by hitting Hoskins underneath.
Hoskins had 4 catches last week against Utah State, a career high. He's gone from walk-on to captain. Quick set, incomplete pass. Intended for Eli Stowers, broken up by Keon Sabb, who rallied to the ball very quickly.
In the red zone, Diego Pavia and Tim Beck, they utilize a lot of RPO. He's obviously a very effective runner. So in this part of the field, it's almost exclusively called RPOs, where you can run it with the quarterback, you can run it with the running back, or if you get a one-on-one or a really favorable look on the outside, you can take that throw.
2nd and 10. Well, Kylan Young, better known as MK, is the running back. Single coverage. Incomplete pass. An awful lot of hand fighting there. Zabian Brown and Junior Sherrill.
Trying to take a one-on-one shot against Brown, and Sherrill's been so good in this part of the field. It's well defended to set up a 3rd and long.
First time they've had a 3rd down. You mentioned it. Last year in Nashville, a key to the game was Vanderbilt was 12 for 18 on 3rd down. Stayed on the field, possessed the ball for more than 42 of these 60 minutes. This one's 3rd and 10. As you also said, as a result of that game, Kane Womack, the defensive coordinator, now plays much more zone defense. They got burned time and time again playing man on 3rd down a year ago.
Alabama does love to bring pressure in this part of the field, though, so keep an eye on number 0, Deontay Lawson. He's their linebacker off the ball, but 42, Yanze Pierre, he's a guy that could get home in the pass rush.
On 3rd and 10 from the 13. Pavia pulls it down. They yank the ball out. It's free inside the 10. Justin Jefferson pulled it out. A huge turnover for the Alabama defense.
Just an enormous job there by Jefferson. Got the right arm on the ball, pulling it out. Is Pavia down? Hand is down. Wow, what a play. Is that right knee, left knee down before the ball comes out? It's so tough to tell.
Tim Keenan recovered the fumble. You know that they're taking a close look at this.
And based on all those looks, I just don't know if there's enough to overturn it. It looks like the ball's starting to come out, the knee's down there, but is the ball out at that point? It's a bang-bang play and a massive moment coming up for the replay booth.
Justin Jefferson, the 5th-year senior from Memphis. Looked to me like the ball was coming out before he was down, just barely. Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules expert, longtime SEC referee. Matt, good afternoon. What do you think?
Good afternoon, Sean. I agree with you and Greg. I think the ball is starting to move just before his left shin contacts the ground. So I think this will be confirmed or allowed to stand, or be upheld, I should say, as a fumble.
And that's what it appears to be. Shin almost down, but not. One of the many things.
Video review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down, Alabama.
I don't think they got that right. One of the many things Pavia does well is protect the ball. He very rarely turns it over. Last year, just 4 interceptions, the fewest that Vanderbilt had on record back to 1946.
More amazingly, I mean, they almost never fumble. In the last 2 years, they've had just 4 lost fumbles prior to that last one. That's the 4th fewest in college football. So if you're going to rip it out, it's a rare occurrence against the Doors.
Tossed them at least 3 points. Their field goal kicker is terrific. Would have been interesting to see if Clark Lee would have gone for that on 4th down. So here's Jam Miller shaking free again. C.J. Hurd made the tackle. He's been outstanding as a first-year transfer over from FAU. 14 for Miller.
And this is a great start for the offensive line in the run game, a group that has taken some heat. But with Jam Miller back, you see the vision immediately setting up blocks. Fakes to the outside, cuts back to the left off Brian Longwell's pursuit, and creates another nice run on the ground.
They have the freshman Michael Carroll now in at right tackle. They think he's going to be a great offensive tackle. Jam Miller lined up with a minute to go in the pistol behind Ty Simpson. The play clock reached 0. They just did get it off. And it's Miller ahead to the 26. There's Miller, Carroll rather, the freshman from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Spent some time at IMG Academy in Florida.
It's not often that you see in week 5 the offensive line is still a little bit unsettled. But if you talk to this offensive staff, they're still very much in the process of figuring out who their best 5 are. They've been very impressed with the freshman Carroll and what he's done at right tackle this year.
Final 20 seconds of the quarter, 7-0 Vanderbilt. Jam Miller into the secondary again. So both teams busting some runs. C.J. Hurd another tackle. Miller's up to 70 yards rushing already on 7 carries after that 13-yard pickup. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
And now I live it. Ain't it a gift to know it's God-given? I'm not gonna waste.
From the very beginning, you knew she was unlike anyone else, and she always would be. Desert diamonds celebrate all the shades that make her, her. In hues as ever-changing as the desert itself, sunlit whites, radiant champagnes, smoky whiskeys, natural colors truly unlike anything else, just like her.
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get a free large drink in the Sonic app this month only. That's one hand-smashed Angus beef Sonic Smasher plus a free large drink when you order in the app. It's the QB1 of burger deals.
It's game time, and we're making a Twisted Tea drop. Twisted Tea fans love football and the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
So this is my favorite room, my chunky mantry. Got my guy TV cooking some chili dog mac.
What did you do to my pantry?
It was him. Chunky, soup that eats like a meal.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the all-new Big QP, fries, bottomless chips and salsa, and a bottomless drink, all for just $10.99. So if you're McDone with tiny, overpriced burgers, just come to Chili's. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
So, to recap all the AI we're adding, it's supposed to streamline our workflows.
That's the idea.
But adding the AI that makes everyone else's job easier to manage gives us more to manage.
That's the reality.
Well, that's not very streamlined.
That's the irony.
Any business can use AI. IBM helps you use AI to change how you do business. Let's create small to business. IBM.
We form a bond stronger than blood because ours is a family forged in fire.
We have a major storm heading towards Nashville.
911, what's your emergency?
We're gonna get people evacuated now!
All right, 113. We are on the move.
Back here in Tuscaloosa, Coach, such a strong start, and then quarterback Diego Pavia with that fumble inside the 10. How do you get that momentum back?
Oh, we just got to get a stop here. I mean, it's going to be a long game. We got Diego's back. I mean, those things happen. So we get a stop here, we get the ball back to our offense. I like the way we're moving the ball. Obviously, that one stalled out, but I think we're in good shape right now. It's a long game.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Each quarterback has turned it over once. Both came in very good at protecting the ball. Here's another good run for Alabama. It's Kevin Riley in for Miller. 4 plays on this drive for Alabama, all of them runs for a total of 38 yards. C.J. Hurd's been busy in that secondary making tackles.
Yeah, he has. And C.J. Hurd's an electric player there at the back end. He is a heat-seeking missile. coming down from the back and making plays at the line of scrimmage. So if those safeties start to get nosy, that's when Ryan Grubb might want to dial up a play-action shot downfield.
On 2nd and 2, that one dropped for a loss. Riley taken down by Singh, Joshua Singh, graduate student from Hawaii. Loss of a yard on the play. A big 3rd down call for Ryan Grubb, back with Kalen DeBoer after 1 year with the Seattle Seahawks last season.
2 high safeties might be checking to a run here.
Riley, the running back. Simpson likely changing the play. The play clock's running down. Apparently just got it off again. He throws. Good call by Simpson. And a beautiful throw to Jeremy Bernard. Another tackle for Hurd. 17 more for the Crimson Tide.
That was a great job by Ty Simpson. He recognizes, hey, looking like it's going to be a run with 2 high safeties. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Keep an eye on this guy. He's blitzing. I'm going to check it. I'm going to beat him with the throw. Sees it, delivers it. Perfect strike for the conversion.
To Bernard, another transfer from Washington, who Ryan Grubb says is the best player on their team. Can do it all on offense. Said if you gave him 2 days, it could be your starting safety. Jam Miller patiently waiting for room and didn't find any. Well, not surprising that Simpson would be good at the line of scrimmage. Smart young man. He's the son of a coach. His dad is Jason Simpson, 20 years the head coach at Tennessee Martin, longest tenured coach in the Ohio Valley. And they are very close. I asked him, did you ever think about playing for your dad? He's one of the most highly recruited quarterbacks in the country out of high school in Martin, Tennessee. He said, no, my dad said, that's not happening because you're not coachable.
Well, I think he probably is coachable for Kalen DeBoer, but not for Dad, right? You can't do that. Looking like a pressure here, and Kalen DeBoer is going to have to call a timeout.
Yeah, maybe too much at the line of scrimmage being done by Simpson that time.
Alabama, it is their first.
The rest of the Simpson family is here today. Mom Julie, Dad's busy coaching UT Martin against Lindenwood.
This game has gotten out of control. All the money, the unpredictability. It's time we instate a commissioner.
Introducing the commissioner of coverage, the Aflac Duck.
Commish, when health insurance falls short, who pays you cash to help with your medical bills?
Aflac. The commissioner has spoken.
I love that duck.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with
Aflac, an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
Y'all can ask about it at work.
It's time for a reset. McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Extra value meals are back, only at McDonald's.
New Swiffer Mop Deluxe is made for small spaces. The upgraded strip has 75% more scrubbing power. And with the new locking head, getting into tight spaces is simple.
Can I borrow it?
The all-new Swiffer Mop Deluxe, the mother of all cleans.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep coming back. Break away to what's possible with Tremfya. With symptom relief as early as 4 weeks, remission at 12 weeks, and lasting remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible healing of the intestinal lining. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today.
Domino's Best Deal Ever is back. Any hand-tossed, pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 online. Last time you got
sausage, bacon,
chicken, spinach,
beef, buffalo sauce.
What are you gonna get this time? Get Domino's $9.99 Best Deal Ever before it's gone.
'Cause I'm in shoo, 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 Sugar Town.
Gemini, which of these would be a little less expected?
Check out the alliums. They'd go great with the hydrangeas below.
Will those last till Saturday?
Yeah, they should last until Saturday if they're kept in water.
I've heard about you. Major crime, secret weapon.
So what are you doing in a police station? Trying to find a place where that mustache makes sense?
Nick Wagner, your new captain.
After we're finished on this beautiful day in Tuscaloosa, more great college football action tonight on ABC at 7:30. Number 3, Miami. Number 18, Florida State. The Canes 4-0. Carson Beck completing 73% of his passes. It's a first-year transfer from Georgia. It's an FSU team averaging 53 a game, best in the country. Simpson running the option, and he's collared and swung down after a short gain by Zaylen Wood. Ty was deemed to be a dual-threat quarterback coming out of high school in the class of 2022. He was the second highest ranked dual-threat quarterback behind only Cade Klubnik, now at Clemson.
And he is a very effective runner, especially in third down situations. So if you're too dedicated to the pass and get overly aggressive with your pass rush, that's when he can hurt you. But probably have 2 downs to get it here if you're Ty Simpson.
They need 7. This is the 9th play of the drive after they stripped the ball from Diego Pavia inside the 10. Simpson again. Zaylen Wood again. No gain on that play. And it does look like Kalen DeBoer is going to go for this on 4th down. They're lining up quickly. Vanderbilt still getting set. And Vanderbilt's going to call a timeout. You can see their players a bit confused as they were milling around. The defense trying to have the back of Diego Pavia. 7-0 Vanderbilt early in the second quarter.
Sorry about that. We'd like to try the Monster menu.
The Monster menu at BK is frightfully fun for families of all kinds.
You rule. The Disney Resorts Collection is the most magical place to stay at the most magical place on Earth. Here, the magic is up early, giving you extra time in any of the 4 theme parks every day, and welcoming you back with even more magical moments. Spring into magic and save up to 25% on rooms at select Disney Resort hotels. Why would you stay anywhere else?
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach!
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
Touchdown! Will they settle for overtime or try to beat their rival now with a 2-point attempt?
Go for it. Gotta go for dos. Go for dos. Go for dos. Go for dos.
Last season, he was questioned for settling.
Coach, why didn't you go for 2?
We're going for 2.
Grab the Dos Equis. They're going for Dos.
They got it. The risk pays off. Dos Equis. Always go for Dos.
Are you looking at 4x4s on cars.com again?
I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
I was thinking of something more sophisticated. Huh. Fine. Keep the beard.
Cars.com. Where to next?
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th and 8th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals up to 40% off this Prime Big Deal Days.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I didn't check if doing the Georgia bark at my boss would be appropriate. Go, dogs!
Yeah. So we need to...
Sick 'em.
And it's not. Checking Allstate first was smart. Barking at my boss, dumb. At least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds.
Hey, Bark Boy.
These guys are crazy.
SEC on ABC is presented by Burger King. The Monster Menu is now at Burger King, and it's frightfully fun for all families. Sink your teeth into the new Monster Menu at BK. You rule.
Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, Molly McGrath back in Tuscaloosa. Alabama down 7-0. Going for it on 4th down and 7 at the Vanderbilt 35.
Vanderbilt showing pressure right now against an empty look. It looks like at this point going to be some type of blitz man from Vandy. They'll bring Jan Miller back, make an adjustment, get to a blitz beater, and then Vandy will check as well.
The chess game ongoing. Jan Miller went back to the left side of Simpson. Given time, has Josh Cuevas. First down, knifing through traffic and finally tackled inside the 20 at the 17. 18-yard play. They're now 1 for 2 on 4th down. They threw an interception on 4th and 1 in the first quarter.
And a great job recognizing all these Vanderbilt defenders showing pressure. Ty doesn't panic, just goes through his progression, hits Cuevas in stride, and a decent block there by Bernard to get just enough of the defender to allow Cuevas to get past him for the conversion.
And some poor tackling by the Commodores in that secondary. 15 yards after the catch for Cuevas. He went in motion, almost collided with Simpson. And Jan Miller ducked down inside the 15-yard line. Impressive drive. It feels like they've had the ball more on this drive than they had it in the entire game in Nashville last year, when they had the ball for fewer than 18 minutes. Started with the Pavia fumble stripped by Justin Jefferson. It looked like Vanderbilt was poised to take a 10-0 lead. Right now that play stands as the biggest in the game.
Like man coverage for Vanderbilt. Might get a shot at Ryan Williams up top.
Simpson steps up, fires Ryan Williams in the back of the end zone, a touchdown. They are best friends, Ty Simpson and Ryan Williams, and they connect on a 14-yard touchdown pass. Capping a outstanding 92-yard drive. 12 plays they had over just under half the quarter. 7:24. Connor Talty's extra point ties it. 3rd touchdown catch of the year for Ryan Williams. And the 12th thrown by Ty Simpson.
And just an outstanding job here by Ty Simpson negotiating the defender. It looked like Capers going to get him. He doesn't. And it's pretty well covered. And boom, as soon as Ty Simpson steps up, he makes the guy miss, and Ryan Williams uncovers. Really well done on the peel route back against man coverage. But it was really all made as a result of the time bought by Ty Simpson there in the backfield. And great feel from Ryan Williams uncovering and a strike thrown.
And the catch made by Williams, pulling it into his body. He's had an issue with drops for them this season, 12 since the start of last season, but he held on to that one to the delight of Ty Simpson's mom, Julie. So we're tied at 7. Talty the kickoff. It'll be a touchback. Diego Pavia from Albuquerque. No FCS or FBS offers out of high school, so he went to a junior college. New Mexico Military, won a national championship there. Went to New Mexico State for 2 years, turned that program around, was the Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year. Last year to Nashville, SEC Newcomer of the Year, as he led them to a winning season and a bowl game and a first win ever over a top 5 team, #1 Alabama. They're 1-61 all time against the top 5, playing a top 10 Bama team today. He's on target. Pavia to junior Sherrill, who's down with a first down out to the 40-yard line. Well, before he got to New Mexico State, they were 9-30 in the years before his arrival. They went 17-11, including 10 wins for just the second time in school history in 2023. He was 14-9 as the starter. They're 6-11 since he left. Vanderbilt, the 3 seasons before he got there, 9-27. They're 12-6 with him. It's not a coincidence. Tim Beck's been around coaching for 40 years. Their offensive coordinator, he said he's the best football player I've coached. Sherrill turned the corner and got stopped after a 1-yard gain.
What you have to love about Diego Pavia, though, the underdog story, and the guy that, like you said, Sean, 0 offers coming out. He was actually playing against the guy that New Mexico State was offering in the JUCO National Championship, outplayed him so significantly that Tim Beck decided to change her mind and take Pavia instead. And what a decision it was.
Jerry Kill was the head coach. Coach Kill at New Mexico State and Tim Beck as coordinator were recruiting Nate Glantz, who was playing against Pavia for the national championship for Iowa Western. They were going to throw a screen back across the field. It was very well defended by Yanze Pierre. So Pavia threw it away.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. Number 6 in the offense was in the area. It'll be 3rd down.
And a great job, like you said, Sean, of Yanze Pierre. He's a pass rusher, but in this case, he's asked to just cover. And he does a great job of that. Goes and takes away the tight end, talks Pavia out of it, and forces 3rd and long.
Third down and 9. 3rd down was the money down for the Commodores. Last year at home against Alabama. They weren't contending with this crowd. Pavia throws it away again. No Quay Rousseau, no Jamarian Latham, but they do have Yanze Pierre, who's an emerging star as a pass rusher for Kalen DeBoer and Kane Womack.
And this is really well done by LT Overton. He's asked to kind of sit there and take one guy to allow number 17 to loop around. That's just tremendous job. And Yanze Pierre there as well. Well executed game there.
Nick Harborer is the punter. Cole Adams made a fair catch. "47-yard punt. The fumble by Pavia has turned the momentum of this game. Tied at 7. You're watching the SEC on ABC, presented by Burger King.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network, so you can watch the game together, even when you're away.
Here we go, man. We got it. We got it.
Yes, yes, yes! Go, go, go! Go, 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 go! Yes!
My wife is having a baby.
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. That's all part of the AT&T guarantee.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Allergies got you trying every trick? Grab Zyrtec for total relief. It works fast and lasts a full 24 hours. What are you waiting for? Go Z's the day with Zyrtec.
Room for 6 full-size passions. The Lexus TX 3-row luxury. A car that doesn't elevate everyone's experience is a car that stops short of amazing.
What's the score?
We're gonna rob an entire country.
Shouldn't be a problem. Merry Christmas, Scofield.
Play Dirty, rated R. Now streaming only on Prime.
From Hollywood, it's Dancing with the Stars.
The Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más student section of the year. Who will take home the trophy this year? University of Alabama. Enrollment of more than 42,000. Tied offense back on the field in a 7-7 tie midway through the second quarter. Daniel Hill is in at running back, and Simpson gets swung down back at the 5. First sack for the Commodores. It comes from Joshua Singh.
And just a great job by Singh, who just beats the right guard. That's Wilkin Formby, who slid down from right tackle, oversets to the outside, gets beat inside, and Simpson has nowhere to go. It's a great pass rush by Singh.
His first sack of the season. And a loss of 10. After the fakes, Jam Miller stopped for a 1-yard gain by Brian Longwell. There's Steve Gregory, terrific player at Syracuse. Went on to an 8-year career with the NFL. Spent time with the Chargers and the Patriots. Kind of got into coaching by accident. He moved back to Syracuse after his playing days with his family. Went over to help Scott Schaefer, then the head coach. Clark Lee was the linebacker coach for the Orange then. They formed a friendship. Stayed in touch. And here is Gregory as the DC over the middle. Simpson from the end zone had to go off the hands of Isaiah Horton. And a big 3-and-out forced by the Vanderbilt defense of Steve Gregory.
That was really big, that first down sack. And you talk to Steve Gregory and Clark Lee, they feel really good about their personnel along the defensive line. They think they're deeper. They think they're more disruptive. They have guys that can rush the passer and set the tone on the edge. They really like that group, and they think that's why they're so improved defensively.
There's a Vanderbilt special teams group that will go aggressively after punts. They back up to set up for a return, and it's not a great punt by Blake Dowd, and it takes a bad bounce for him. Goes out of bounds. Vanderbilt's going to have it at the +38 as we look at high-speed highlights brought to you by T-Mobile 5G home internet.
Well, it started with a dice roll and a 4th down interception by Ty Simpson. Vandy answered with a long touchdown by Alexander, but a huge moment where Bama gets back in the game as Pavia's going in, and Bama answers with a touchdown of their own. So a couple mistakes that have been capitalized on by the opposing offense.
So great field position for Vanderbilt. They have 3 tight ends on the field. M.K. Young, the running back, and he gets stacked up for no gain. London Simmons, true freshman, in the middle of that defense.
A couple times where Simmons has shown up and Kelby Collins has shown up, and their presence has been pretty big these last couple drives, especially knowing that James Smith, the outstanding defensive tackle, he'll return to that defense in about 5.5 minutes.
There's James Smith sitting out for targeting. He'll be out for the first half after a targeting infraction against Georgia in the second half last week. Pavia trying to get outside. Extended the ball to get all that he could. Got it near the 35-yard line. Bray Hubbard made the play, as he's done all season long. 3-yard gain. They are in field goal range. As we go under 5 minutes to go in the first half.
The last time Vanderbilt was in 3rd and long, it was the pass rush for Alabama that got home with some twists and movement along the front. So maybe they move the pocket here with Pavia to kind of clean up that pass rush.
Here comes a blitz. Pavia gets it off for a first down. Richie Hoskins, another catch. They needed 7, they got 9.
And a lot of pressure coming from depth, but Pavia does a great job of buying time to allow this receiver to uncover. Look how he sets it initially, backs up a little more, and hits Hoskins on a nice breakout as the progressive pylon cam shows you the accuracy and the toe tap on the sideline.
Official timeout for injured personnel.
I think it might be a member of the chain gang.
Right there is defenders in pursuit. You see the guy on the sideline going down, falling on his back. Man, hopefully he's okay.
Alabama medical staff there to tend to him very quickly. And good to see him being helped to a seated position.
25 seconds. Both the game and the play clock will start on my signal.
Let's check in the studio with Kevin Nagandi.
Sean, thank you so much. State Farm halftime report is just minutes away. Booger McFarland, Kevin Nagandi here. Texas in some serious trouble in the swamp against the Gators. Highlights coming your way, plus a preview for Florida State, Miami. Speaking of trouble, what is going on in Pasadena? Penn State trailing big time on the road against a winless UCLA team.
Who says coaching doesn't matter? UCLA makes a coaching change, and all of a sudden, Nico Iamaleava and the Bruins are playing inspired football, Kev.
How about this score? 24-7 UCLA right now in the first half against the Nittany Lions. Back to you.
That is stunning. Perhaps a hangover from that big loss to Oregon at home last week, the first loss of the season for Penn State. Here's another look at the reason for the stoppage. Unfortunately, the gentleman who got knocked down hit his head very hard, the back of his head, into the ground. They have a neck stabilizer on him. So many people go into the administration of a football game. Always like when we're down on the field talking to people like the chain gang who are just as thrilled to be here every Saturday as the players and coaches and fans and broadcasters and everybody else. So the delay comes with 3:59 to go, and a big conversion. 9-yard completion, Pavia to Richie Hoskins. The good news is the gentleman who was run over seems to be alert.
Like you said, Sean, I mean, there's so many people that do this job, and and contribute to the game day experience for the players and the fans. And you just hate to see a situation like this, a guy giving back to the game and there in front of the action, taking a hit on the sideline. Just hope he's okay. Appears like he's on his feet though. And
yes, Molly tells us he's alert and talking. He did get up on his feet and took a couple of steps to that cart, now being helped, but everything we've seen so far is positive. And Molly will get us more information and stay on top of the situation. So perhaps a break for Kalen DeBoer's defense on their heels a bit after the first down conversion. Vanderbilt had a nice opening drive, a couple of good possessions to start the game. Then the Pavia fumble happened. They've had a hard time finding that rhythm since.
Big part of that has been how Alabama's safeties have done a better job in being effective in plugging the run. So at some point they're getting nosy. Diego might try to take a shot.
On 1st and 10 at the 26. Pavia checked it down to the man who went in motion, Trey Richardson. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and then he was driven back by Deontay Lawson and Justin Jefferson. No gain on the play. We're told the gentleman who was injured on the sidelines is Kirby Michaels, and Molly will certainly keep us up to date as he gets additional medical attention. 2 timeouts for each team. There's Lawson, their leading tackler and a leader of the defense. 5th-year senior out of Mobile. Out of the pistol, the fake to MK Young. Single coverage in the end zone. Incomplete. Well covered by Dejon Lee as he had coverage on Junior Sherrill.
Good hands there by Lee. It looked like Sherrill was going to catch the back shoulder, but Lee's able to get that left arm in there just in time to swipe the ball away. And the progressive pylon cam shows you his break on the ball. Last time Alabama was in 3rd down and long, might have been a touch early, but either way, it's good defense. Last time in 3rd and long, Bama brought the house. This time I wonder if they'll probably play coverage, try to win with their defensive line.
They're 1 for 3 on 3rd down. It was the 3rd and 7 a moment ago. Shovel pass. They used that to great effect last year in Nashville, and this one gets them the 1st down with a yard to spare. Cedric Alexander tackled by Jefferson, but they get 11 to keep the chains moving.
And a great job here. It's a really nice design from Tim Beck. They hit the shovel pass with the tight end last year coming across the formation. This time they faked the run to the right, roll Pavia to the left, and hit the shovel pass. Same exact play, just from a different presentation, and equally effective to last year.
Approaching the 2-minute stoppage. Plenty of timeout for Diego Pavia. He runs again and ducks down. Avoided a big hit by Nakai Hill-Green and held on to the football. A 4-yard gain. 2 minutes to go. First half. Vandy and Bama tied at 7.
Let it storm. Let it thunder. High as a mountain, deep as a river, come rain or come shine. Days may be cloudy or sunny, but I'm with you, baby. I'm with you, rain or shine. Come rain or come shine.
Let's go. No matter what your name is, everyone has something to protect.
I should have done this a long time ago.
For Ellie Flaum, it's her freedom.
Quit laughing at me. Here, let me show you guys.
It's her flexibility. And it's the life she's been waiting to live in retirement.
Am I smiling too much?
Everyone has something to protect. And Prudential can help guarantee income through retirement. So you can protect your life's work.
I did it. Look, I did. Oh, this is definitely not the last.
Who's your rock?
$7 for a coffee? Nah. How about Sonic Salted Caramel Toffee Iced Coffee with cold foam for only $2.99? It's the fancy without the pricey. Better yet, try it for free with any purchase in the Sonic app.
There has never been a worse time.
It's all happening too fast.
What, you nervous about the wedding?
No, it's the house, dude. We got approved.
Bro, don't stress. This house, it's the one.
Speaking of the one, caterer. We need a caterer.
Businesses work best when they put people first. Your dedicated Cintas service reps help make sure your team has the essential products they need, where and when they need them, to help keep them looking great, feeling confident,
And ready to be their best. Get Cintas.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Ready-to-eat meal delivery services are not created equal. At Factor, it's personal. Everything is done from scratch every single day. Nutrition and flavor is first and foremost when we create any dish.
Sign up for Factor today and get 50% off your first box at factormeals.com.
Influencers aren't new.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
In 1941, Jeep wrote the book on four-wheel drive.
Years later, the Jeep brand is still influencing. Some create trends, we create our own trail. Some send a smiling emoji, we smile for real.
Don't call it a comeback.
Jeep, there's only one.
Right now during the Jeep Drive into Fall event, well-qualified lessees can lease a 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon gas model for $420 a month. Hurry, this great offer ends November 3rd.
You're watching the SEC on ABC. From Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Battle of two ranked teams. Vanderbilt and Alabama tied at 7 at the 2-minute stoppage. Diego Pavia has the Commodores at the 11-yard line, looking at 2nd down and 6.
They bring in their fullback, Gabe Fisher, number 44. Follow him, you find the ball. They love running behind that big body running back.
It's M.K. Young bouncing it outside now. He spins and gets stopped 2 yards short of the first down. Cedric Alexander was the ball carrier in a 5-yard game.
Timeout, Alabama. It is their second. It will be 30 seconds.
It was a shovel pass that moved the chains on the 11-yard play a moment ago.
And that was a play that really hurt Alabama last year, but different presentation. This time, last year it was Stowers working underneath Pavia from the opposite side with threat to the outside of the other side of the triple option. But hey, today a little different. You see it here. They have a very similar play, but he attacks it the exact same way, the polar out front, but it's coming from play side. So same play, just different window dressing. That's the sign of a great coach, where it's very simple on the offense, but very difficult on the defense to line up and recognize the call.
And a great effort by Cedric Alexander at the end of that play. A couple of extra hops to get the first down, barely. 3rd down and 1. Alexander's the running back. Pavia has the first down. And Kalen DeBoer is going to start using his timeouts. He'd like the ball back before the end of the half.
Alabama. It is their third. It will be 30 seconds.
And another good effort, just like Alexander moments ago at the end of the shovel pass. Terrific effort as always by Pavia.
And it's really well done. He just hits it up inside. It looked like number 41, Hill Green, was going to make the play. I mean, he was right there. He played it perfectly. He goes low and tries to hit Pavia, but he maintains his balance to stay upright long enough to convert 3rd and short.
Well, you mentioned it. When Diego was in junior college at New Mexico Military Institute playing in the national championship, Jerry Kill, the head coach of New Mexico State, his offense coordinator Tim Beckett already decided they were going to offer Nate Glantz, who was the quarterback for the other team, Iowa Western. They were watching it from a restaurant, the championship game in Las Cruces. They said we're recruiting the wrong guy. They gave the scholarship instead to Pavia. He turned their program around. First and goal from the 4. Another shovel pass and a touchdown. Cedric Alexander puts Vanderbilt back on top. Second touchdown of the day for Alexander, who scored at least one now in 5 of their 6 games this season. 9 total in this, their 6th game of the year. The extra point good by Brock Taylor.
Same exact play, just working a different side. You'll see Alexander work across, then back, heading out to the right, and the shovel pass is there. It's so hard for LT Overton, number 22, to make that play. And Alexander finishes the run extremely well. In a moment ago on a critical 3rd and 10, same play going the other direction. This time Alexander's on the left, works it back across, then out in front of Pavia where he hits him on the shovel pass for the big 3rd and 10 conversion. Same exact play, one to the left, setting it up. A little bit later, hitting it on the right for the touchdown.
So in the last 2 years, they've run the shovel pass 4 times as Clark Lee against Alabama for a total of 79 yards. What an impressive offense Tim Beck has put together, and what a great play caller he is.
It's outstanding, and it's amazing too because the players all get to the same spots, but the way they get there and where they start is very different from week to week, and that's a sign of a great coach calling the same plays but making them look very different to the defense.
Brock Taylor kicks off for the first time today into the breeze, and it's returnable. Wazir Brooks stopped at the 22-yard line. Time for today's Aflac trivia question. You want to know how many times has Vanderbilt defeated Alabama here in Tuscaloosa?
Man, I have no idea on that one. A lot of games that you referenced earlier, Sean. And only 19 wins to count back, so man, it's tough to assume that's more than 4. I have no idea.
I would take the under. The folks at home are wagering. Ty Simpson on target. Quick first down to Isaiah Horton on a 13-yard gain. Martell Height there to make the tackle immediately. No timeouts for Simpson and the Tide. Jam Miller, the running back. Simpson, look out, taken down from the side. He didn't see the defender coming. Corday Sidnor, another terrific game for Vanderbilt.
End of half operations have been great for Alabama. Touchdown on the road last week against Georgia. They really trust Ty Simpson in this situation. They've scored 3 games in a row in the end of half.
A 2-yard sack, second sack for Vandy. 4-man rush, Simpson on target. Ryan Williams ankle tackled short of the first down by about 2 yards. Dante Carter there for Vanderbilt, 10 yards on the gain, 39 seconds. And the clock is running on 3rd down and 2. The Commodores blitz, Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams banged down at the 40-yard line. There's a flag thrown, a couple at the end. And you wonder if this is for a targeting at the end of a 17-yard play.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 4. The previous play is under video review.
Here's Height coming in, and does look like he tries to initiate contact. Remember, at that point, Ryan Williams is not defenseless, so the only way it could be targeting is if he initiates contact with the crown of the helmet. To me, it looked like the head was to the side, so probably not going to result in a targeting call.
Yeah, I don't think so. Based on what you described, let's bring in Matt Austin. The crowd's oohing and awing as they look at replays. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, Sean, I agree with Greg. He's definitely a runner at this point, so the only thing you could have is crown. He does try to get his head to the side, gets him a little high, but it's not crown, so I would think that they would overturn the targeting.
But remember, Matt, if it's called personal foul with targeting, does that mean the personal foul still stands?
If that was the announcement, then yes, it would. But targeting is in and of itself is a personal foul, so it all depends on if they said personal foul with targeting or personal foul targeting.
Well, here's a look at it again, and this would be a huge loss if Height has to leave the game. He's an outstanding corner. He's already had an interception today. He plays occasionally at wide receiver, and he's a punt returner. Here comes the verdict.
After video review, there is no foul for targeting as both hits were evaluated. The clock will start on the signal.
So no penalty. The ball is spotted at the end of the play, the 40-yard line. And bear in mind, Kalen DeBoer does not have a great kicking situation. He's upset about it, so is the crowd, but that's not targeting, as Matt and Greg fully explained.
I think people just assume if it's helmet to helmet, that's target. That's not the case. You have defenseless, not defenseless. He was not defenseless there, meaning the only way is for him to lower the helmet and initiate contact with the crown of the helmet, the top of the helmet.
The clock was just starting to run.
Timeout Vanderbilt. It is their second. It will be 30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 27 seconds. Thank you.
So during the timeout, we'll answer the Aflac trivia question. We want to know how many times has Vanderbilt defeated Alabama here in Tuscaloosa. This is the 19th meeting all time. The answer is once, back in 1984. That was a very good Vanderbilt team under George McIntyre, Coach Mack. They won 30-21. Kalen DeBoer has his hands full for the second year in a row with this Commodore bunch. And again, remember the field goal kicking not great for Alabama. Talty's already missed from 47. He's just 4 for 7 on the year, which in this day and age is not very good. Simpson given plenty of time, out of bounds. Jeremy Bernard, they are now in field goal range. 13 yards. Colby Taylor had the coverage. Simpson 4 for 4 on the drive.
So tied at this point now, you got to be mindful of possible pressure to try and knock you back out of field goal range. The ball's got to come out quick.
And they can't go down in bounds before the stakes. Jeremy Bernard! Touchdown, Alabama! Simpson outstanding on the drive. Bernard a 27-yard touchdown catch. Kalen DeBoer deserves credit for using those timeouts to save some time for the offense. Here's Talty to tie it. They went 78 yards, just 6 plays in a minute and 16. Simpson was 5 for 5 on the drive for 80 yards. They lost 2 yards on a sack.
And this is just next level quarterback play by Ty Simpson. You're going to see him manipulate that safety just enough. His eyes go right to him. See the safety drift in 2-3 yards inside. Gives you the green light to hit Bernard to the outside. That's a great job of Ty Simpson manipulating that safety, bringing him in just a touch to know he has Bernard down the sideline with a full head of steam. And it's perfectly thrown and accurate to allow Bernard that momentum to continue through the catch.
Senior from Las Vegas. Played for Michigan State, Washington, and now Alabama. And he has his 5th touchdown catch of this season. He's had one in each of the last 4 games. Tie game in the final seconds of the half. It'll be a touchback. You think They'll take a knee with only one timeout left. They like to be aggressive, and this guy is a swashbuckler, to say the least.
You get to see Diego Pavia running around for about 10 seconds and heaving an 80-yard bomb in the air. Nothing with him would surprise me, but just a tremendous first half of football. Some mistakes, some things cleaned up, and great 2-minute operation from Alabama to go into the half tide.
Pavia lined up to take a knee, 11 of 16 for 88 yards passing and a touchdown. Ran for 53 on 6 carries, but did have that big lost fumble, and they were driving already up 7-0. Ty Simpson, 13 out of 18 for 188 and 2 touchdowns. He also threw his first interception of the season, first of his college career. Here's Molly with Clark Lee.
Coach, you had the lead, but your defense just allowed that touchdown at the end of the half. What does that group need to continue to do?
Well, you got to give them credit. They executed on a 2-minute drive. We didn't. I mean, we needed to get pressure on the quarterback and get the ball tackled in bounds, and probably need to tighten up there at the end. But hey, it's a 14-14 game. We get the possession coming out of the half. We're where we need to be. Let's go finish the game out.
How'd you like your quarterback Diego Pavia's response to adversity after that fumble?
Yeah, I mean, we credit to their defense. They got a 3-and-out in there too after that. But he's a resilient guy, and the offense did a great job. That actually was a nice complementary sequence where the defense made a stop, forced a punt, and gave us a short field. So that's how we need to play. 3 phases interlocked. There's a lot of football left, and we're going to have fun with it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks so much.
Sean.
Should be a very entertaining second half. This is no longer less than capable Vanderbilt team against the mighty Alabama squad. These two teams look very evenly matched. Let's go to the studio. The State Farm Halftime Report. Here's Kevin.
Sean, thank you. State Farm Halftime Report. Booger McFarland, Kevin Nagandi in studio. Ty Simpson just absolutely brilliant on that final drive. 5 for 5, 80 yards, and that touchdown strike. And we've got a good one in Tuscaloosa with both quarterbacks shining out. You said the magic number was 70 here for Diego Pavia. What are you seeing right now?
Well, not only 70 rushing, but 70 completion percentage, because he's been a dual-threat quarterback, controlling the football game. Right now, through one half of football, he's well on his way, Kev.
Tim Beck in this offense. What's different for Vandy? Because they have 127 rushing yards so far in that first half.
Yeah, Vandy's a good football team, and they're 5-0. And everybody said, well, is this the same old Vandy? They're different. Let's look at how they're running the football. Let's watch the nose tackle from Alabama. He's going to slant to his right. But watch the left guard in the center. They're going to combo up to the linebacker. That's smart football, because once they see the nose tackle come over, they're going to move. But what I want everyone to pay attention to, it's a different Vandy. Watch this defensive tackle. The right guard and the right tackle. They're going to take this defensive tackle and drive him all the way outside to the corner. They call this duo. 2 guys on one. We're going to combo block up to the cornerback. And if you're a running back, all you want to do is follow that defensive tackle. 1, 2, 3. That's 5 yards down the field. They're driving him up the ball. Kev, look at that hole.
Yeah.
I don't know about your athletic ability, but I think you could run through that hole right there.
I'll take it to the house.
12 yards a carry. That's what they're averaging. They're a smart football team. They're physical, and it's no fluke. They're running the football against Alabama.
Alexander with that 65-yard touchdown run. We've seen explosive plays against this Bama defense. Florida State did whatever they wanted on the ground. Georgia
ran the football, yeah.
Right now, that's the storyline for this Vandy offense with Diego Pavia as well as your leader. All right, we're keeping an eye on what's going on in the Swamp Book. First SEC road game for Arch Manning, taking on Florida, and they were trailing 10-0. Arch rolling out. This is what he does well.
Using his athleticism, Kev, but don't be fooled by the highlight. Arch is not playing well down in the Swamp, but good job by Sark getting him outside on the move.
Big return, Dallas Wilson. He's a key playmaker here for this Gators offense. And look at the score, 19-7.
No fluke in the Swamp. That defense is good, Kev.
All right, ahead off the loss to Alabama. Find out what impressed Boog about Georgia's offense today under Gunnar Stockton.
When you're driven by greatness, you chart your own course, set your own standards, blaze your own trails, create your own traditions. Control your own destiny and let everyone else follow.
Did you take your vitamin today?
That's my job.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Citizens of the lawn are ready for fall.
You know, the lawn's the place to be during fall.
Past patterns running all over the place back here.
Fall's the best time to feed the lawn with Turf Builder, and it comes back greener in spring.
Strengthen to protect all winter with Turf Builder Winter Guard.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
Sometimes in life, you just want more.
Cracker Barrel's all about more.
More flavor, more heart, more craft, more joy.
So when you just want more, Cracker Barrel has all the more.
All the more. Cracker Barrel.
For 150 years, this bench has seen excellence in generations of Commodores. Because they all embrace one superpower: growth. Growth that allows us to approach the mic, to speak boldly into the mic, and of course, to drop the mic. Outstanding! Win check! So, what excellence will this bench see in the next 150 years? Only one way to find out.
Shifting Gears is your new favorite comedy.
What?
And with guest stars Lily Singh and all-star dodger Mookie Betts, it's the perfect date night.
Yeah, no!
I don't want to talk about it.
New Shifting Gears, Wednesday on ABC.
We form a bond stronger than blood. Because ours is a family that is forged in fire.
I live safe, kid.
The ring of fire!
Welcome to the State Farm Halftime Report.
Boog, Kevin back with you here. And right now, Boog, Georgia coming off that loss to Alabama. You love the dual threat ability of Gunnar Stockton. Why?
No, because it's different than Carson Beck. He adds to the run game. His ability to use his legs and get out and rush the football. They're searching for big plays in the passing game, but Georgia, tried and true, they can count on this offensive line. They had a kind of a shuffle group today, but they showed up and they showed out, and they physically manhandled the Wildcats.
196 in the air, 48 on the ground. That is Stockton. 3 total touchdowns. Georgia would go on to cruise in this one, 35-14 with a very big second half.
No doubt about it. And you got to love it if you're Kirby. Way to bounce back, get your team back into the win column.
Dylan Bell saw a lot of action in the end zone. Upset alert here. Undefeated Iowa State, number 14 in the country at Cincinnati, and the Bearcats all over the Cyclones.
Yeah, it's kind of the theme of the day. Don't be fooled by the passing game. The passing game was set up by running the football. Cincinnati totally dominated this game up front, rushed for almost 200 yards. It was an outstanding performance by the Bearcats.
Set it up very well for Brendan Sorsby with a deep ball, 82 yards to Caleb Goody, and 38-30 the final. And meanwhile, Bryce Underwood, career-high 270 yards for the freshman here. What do you make of 4-1 Michigan?
Welcome back, Sharon Moore. Now you bring your head coach back. They're slowly but surely, Kev, getting this young quarterback comfortable, and he's starting to look the part.
All right, Michigan wins by 14. Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love, he had a big game last week, 4 total touchdowns. I love the green uniforms taking on Boise.
Yeah, they kind of stole from me today, Kev.
Yeah, but they don't have pinstripe. Listen, a green pinstripe is ball right now, though. It's only 14-7 Irish, and Jeremiah Love going in with the score early in the first. Second half, I should say. Old school rivalry, first time since 2016. Florida State, Miami facing off. Ranked. We are live from Tally after this.
This halftime report is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the strength of this King Henry, but getting that King Henry.
I'm here to lead the team.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Chipotle just dropped Build Your Own Chipotle.
Let's go! A mini Chipotle experience at home.
It feeds 4 to 6 people.
We have a lot of food here.
Lots of protein, rice and beans.
Everybody can make whatever they want, and there's plenty to go around.
Absolute game changer.
Can the V6-powered Nissan Frontier catch 600 pounds of cargo on the fly? Not that you would, but you could. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
911, what's your emergency?
Thursday, it's a night of explosive premieres.
Get everyone you can and send them out here now!
First, strap in as 911 blasts off to space.
All contact with the spacecraft was lost. Mission control, do you copy?
Then, on the Whirlwind Series premiere of 911 Nashville.
We form a bond stronger than blood.
Held it safe, kid.
911 and 911 Nashville, Thursday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Unlock more sports for one unbeatable price. Get unrivaled coverage all year long. Introducing the new ESPN Fox One bundle.
Welcome back to the State Farm Halftime Report.
At the half in Tuscaloosa right now, Alabama, Vandy tied at 14-all. The nightcap tonight on ABC Primetime. Miami and Florida State. Doak Campbell will be rocking, and here's what's at stake. Miami currently 67% chance to get into the playoff. It jumps to 78 with a win. Florida State, after that loss to Virginia, right now at 12%. But if they get a win, they're back in that conversation at 26%. With the loss, it drops down to 4%. And Holly Rowe will be part of the broadcast on the call, and she joins us right now. Holly, this rivalry, I mean, it's what everybody circles in the state. When is Miami playing Florida State? Why is it so critical and important to so many people in the Sunshine State?
Well, this is a great rivalry that goes back generations. I wanted to point out a couple of legacy impacts tonight in this game. Deuce Robinson of Florida State, their most dynamic wide receiver that we will see get a steady dose of action from Tony Castellano tonight. He grew up on the rivalry. His father, Dominic, actually played in this game, and Deuce said, my dad made sure to let me know all of my life how important it is. There's Deuce when he's about 5 years old dressing up as a Florida State player. Well, now he's in the uniform for real, so it means something to these players and their families. Earl Little, the great defensive player for Florida State, his dad played in this, but for Miami. So these kids know the importance of this rivalry. It is a legacy generational feeling when they take the field tonight. Now for Miami, keep in mind, their head coach, Mario Cristobal, also played in this rivalry. He told us yesterday, this is my favorite game ever. He was an offensive lineman back in the day, and this means something to him. He grew up in South Florida, played in South Florida, and now he is coaching South Florida, trying to make new history for the Hurricanes. He did point out, though, this is Miami's first game on the road in a hostile environment. So they tried to really crank up the noise and practice through chaos all week. They know it's going to get chaotic here in Doak Campbell Stadium, and so we're ready for that noise, and we'll see if the Miami Hurricanes are ready to operate with that noise as well.
Holly, thank you so much. Florida State quarterback Tommy Castellanos told me earlier in the week he loves playing the villain, the role of the villain and the underdog. Well, the place is going to be packed and loud. Temperatures 81 degrees, wind gusts you see there with Holly during our conversation at 20 miles per hour. Meanwhile, earlier today on the ACC Network, Clemson, North Carolina, Boog, and Bill Belichick, oh no. How about Dabo putting up 35 points in the first half.
They could have scored 70, Kev. I think Dabo called the dogs off. This was a clearly outmatched North Carolina team. Good for Cade Klubnik. Got off the snide today.
Get right game. And look at this, Book. Look at this. 3 losses by 25 points or more, the most in a season in Belichick's coaching career. And we're 5 games into his coaching career here in North Carolina.
These ain't the Patriots. Ooh.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the strength of this King Henry, but getting that King Henry.
Huzzah! Salutations! I'm here to lead the team.
No, I don't want it. No!
Sorcery! Behold my majestic strides!
You okay?
No, I am not.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I reward full-time fans. Check out this recruit. The conductor can single-handedly hype up the crowd. This full-time fan deserves a Modelo.
Papa John's went all in creating a new Papa Dipper. Our first pizza designed for dipping. It comes with the garlic sauce flight, 3 new flavors plus the original. This is dipping done better. The new Papa Dipper. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Welcome to Visible, the ultimate wireless hack. It's one line, powered with unlimited data on Verizon's 5G network for just $25 a month. Stream, scroll, browse, and connect with great coverage, plus unlimited hotspot included. That's a top-tier network at a budget-friendly cost. But you already knew all that, didn't you? Visible. Live in the know.
Do you enjoy college sports? The athletes, the excitement, the competition? Protect it. Don't lose the excitement of national competition. Don't jeopardize women's sports and Olympic sports. Make sure your favorite athletes continue to enjoy the many important benefits provided to them, and ensure that we preserve and standardize name, image, and likeness rights. Tell Congress to pass the SCORE Act at passthescoreact.com.
This halftime report is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Boog and Kevin back with you. You see the scores behind us. We're going to keep an eye on that Texas game against Florida, and also what's going on in Pasadena with Penn State now down 13.
It's amazing, Kev. When you change the coaches, you bring in a new voice, a new message, new motivation. Penn State's clearly a better team, but right now UCLA looks like the better team, especially on grass today.
The number 7 team in the country losing to a winless UCLA team, right? Ty Simpson looking good so far.
Masterful at the end of the first half.
Vandy gets the ball. After this, we're tied at 14.
Dad, what happened to the evil wizard? You're still thinking about that Bills game, huh? Try this.
Better?
Sorry, Josh. I mean, Jason. I named you. Snickers satisfies.
When being ignored isn't your idea of friendly service,
Hello?
Hello. Sarah?
it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
Where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here! I missed that because of you.
Hey, got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
Real strength isn't pushing through pain. It's treating it. When there's no pain, there's more gain. Advil targets pain caused by inflammation for fast, strong relief. Advil, that's real strength.
In the SEC, our football stadiums literally shake the earth. But our impact means so much more. More billions pumped into our state economies. More students from around the country and the globe attracted to SEC campuses, epicenters for teaching, research, and service. More medical pioneers, entrepreneurs, and international scholars. More Pulitzer and Nobel Prize winners. Once you learn how much more there is to our story, you expect nothing less.
Everybody, let's get into it. Get it started. Let's get it started.
This just needs Gregory love triangle. I'm here with the drama.
There isn't going to be any drama.
There better be. I need some excitement.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm not going anywhere until I find Miranda.
Lane's not answering his phone.
Any fatalities? Oh my God.
You're watching the SEC on ABC, presented by Burger King. From Bryant-Denny Stadium, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Battle of two ranked teams. Number 16, Vanderbilt, and number 10, Alabama. 7-7 was the score. And we're tied again at 14 after a nifty drive to end the half by Alabama. Ty Simpson threw his first interception of his career on the opening drive for Alabama on a 4th and 1. They went down the field at Vanderbilt, scored a touchdown. They marched down again, looking like they were going to take a 2-score lead. Then Diego Pavia fumbled inside the 10. Alexander has both touchdowns for Vanderbilt, and the Commodores will get the ball first here in the second half. Connor Talty kicks off. It's a touchback.
Time now for our all-state good hands play. A couple mistakes and a couple of big moments there in the first half. It started early on a 4th and 1. Kalen DeBoer decides to roll the dice. They call it shot. And Ty Simpson makes an uncharacteristic bad decision to throw it in a tight coverage for his first interception of the year. And then a little later, Vanderbilt trying to take a 2-touchdown lead. He gets the ball stripped out. They responded beautifully, though. Hit Alexander on a shovel pass underneath to give him a 7-point lead before Ty Simpson answers with an incredible end-of-half 2-minute drive to tie this ball game at 14.
Diego Pavia has the ball first. Comes out after the play fake and a nice throw to Junior Sherrill for a first down. 14 yards. Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy. What do you look for in the second half?
I think the big thing for Alabama, the safeties and the secondary players have to be better when it comes to filling run gaps. They got gashed a couple times on the ground, also on the shovel passes, because those safeties weren't in the spots they needed to be. Then for Alabama, they got to get back to running the football a little bit. Vanderbilt made some adjustments up front to take away the run game, had success, which opened up the pass.
Out of the pistol with Cedric Alexander, the running back. He got the call, and he gets wrestled down after a pickup of 2. Here's Molly McGrath.
Well, Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer told me he wants his defense to set the tone here by being disciplined and physical. He said they're moving our guys up front at times, and we need to fight back with physicality, not allow some of those explosive runs that we allowed in the first half. And he stressed that defensive tackle James Smith, returning from a first half suspension with fresh legs, will be huge and give his team a confidence boost in the second half, guys.
He is not on the field yet. Second down and 8. A touchdown run by Alexander was 65 yards. One of those plays Molly and Kalen were talking about. Sherrill couldn't hang on at the 50-yard line. He was right along the line he needed for the first down. Rare drop by Sherrill and 3 touchdown catches last week against Utah State, all in the first half.
A big one too, just took that eyes off the ball a little bit there at the end to set up the 3rd and long, and they got a couple times, Bama did, on the shovel pass in the first half. Let's see if Vanderbilt thinks about going to it again. Probably unlikely.
You would think the Crimson Tide defensive coaches talked about that. Alexander's the running back. He's now had a receiving and a rushing touchdown in 3 of the last 4 games. They're 3 out of 5 on 3rd down. Pavia wrestled down from behind, short of the first down by about 4 yards. Run down by Kelby Collins. And the punt team will come on for Vanderbilt.
That was an excellent job by Alabama's defense. As soon as Diego Pavia takes off as a threat to run, that's when they got to be disciplined in coverage. They stayed true to their coverage identity, stuck with their receivers, and the defensive line makes the play. Great start for Kane Womack.
Second punt for Nick Harborer. Cole Adams tackled immediately at the 11-yard line. 49-yard punt. And the tackle made by C.J. Hurd. So Alabama had the ball in the first half for 18 minutes and 23 seconds. That's longer by 31 seconds than they had it for the entire game last year in Nashville when they were upset by the Commodores.
You talked to Kalen DeBoer. He stressed the importance of controlling some of the tempo and not leaving their defense on the field too long. They've done a pretty good job with that with their offensive approach today.
Jam Miller, the running back. He had 73 yards rushing in the first half. They faked it to him. Here's Josh Cuevas up and over for a first down.
And Cuevas, so athletic, not the longest guy in the world, but a great pass catcher, maybe the best hands on the team. He goes vertical over the top for a little more yards after catch.
And over Marlon Sewell, shoved down by Randon Fontenette. 3 catches today for Cuevas, that one for 12 yards. Simpson's 14 out of 19 for 200. Thrown for 200 now in all 5 games. Throwing it deep down the sideline. Williams has the catch, and he's down at the 21-yard line. "54 yards." They mark him down at the 22.
And a great catch here by Ryan Williams. Ball just ever so slightly underthrown. He goes back, makes a guy miss. And Ryan Williams, who's taken some criticism throughout this season because of some drops and inconsistencies, answers with a big play.
He's also, as usual, made a number of big catches. The drops aren't for lack of effort. He's always doing extra work with the jugs machine. They've worked with him on keeping his eyes on the ball all the way through the catch. Miller. Tackled by Brian Longwell.
I think when it comes to Ryan Williams, too, it's easy to get caught up in some of the low points. But if you just focus on the high points, remember, this young man is still a young player. And young guys are going to have some high highs and some low lows. His highs have been outrageous. He has also had some low lows. At some point, though, as he moves forward, that floor will rise. He's a guy that Kalen DeBoer has tremendous amount of respect for and belief in.
Just 18 years old, played all of last season as a 17-year-old. With 48 catches last year. Has 5 today for 98 yards and a touchdown. Jam Miller stopped for no gain. Langston, Patterson, and Jalen Stone there. Steve Gregory, the defensive coordinator.
They're on 3rd and 5. Alabama loves to run some option routes with their wide receivers. So you can look in the direction here of Isaiah Horton at the top and Rico Scott.
We're going to direct snap it to Jeremy Bernard. Simpson went out wide to the right, and Bernard dropped for a loss. Colby Taylor, the cornerback, transfer from Wyoming, dropped that play for a 3-yard deficit. And a big stop for Steve Gregory and the Commodore defense. The field goal team comes on.
And right here, I mean, it's pretty well blocked. Bernard's got to hit this up inside. Instead, he tries to get to the outside. If he just waits for a half second and cuts off that right guard who's pulling around, might have a chance.
Talty missed from 47. This is from 38. He's 2 for 2 this year inside of 40. 2 for 5 beyond 40. That one's good. And Alabama takes a 17-14 lead. We're in the third quarter in Tuscaloosa.
The new Monster Menu is now at Burger King.
Really?
Frightfully fun for all families. Sink your teeth into the new Monster Menu at BK.
You rule. I'm stumped. Friendly insurance lizard, first letter G. Geppetto?
Come on, you just switched to Geico for car insurance? They knew exactly what you needed?
The friendly people at Geico weren't lizards.
Think European accent, yay big.
Napoleon?
No.
Not even a lizard.
Maybe I can help. No way, it's the Geico Gecko. This guy knows crosswords.
64 across is quibble.
Thank you.
Get more support.
Is that how you spell fracascia?
Get more with Geico.
You gotta look it up sometime. Let me see. Or no, not on. Did you search cool outfits to wear with shark tooth necklace?
Yeah. Goldfish have short memories. Be like goldfish.
Brother. It's a statement piece.
Because sometimes we feel guilty. Give more love than humanly possible. When you feed a Hill's scientifically proven formula. Because you're only human, there's Hill's.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious...
Guess who's back? Check me out.
The best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Still the beats bang, still doing my thing. Since I left, ain't too much change. Still. And even when I was close to defeat, I rose to my feet.
Representing for the gangsters all across the world. Still hitting them corners and the lolos, girl. Still taking my time to progress with me, and I'm still down the streets.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
The city needs us at our best, even when things are at their worst.
113, all hands on.
The ring of
The National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper is here in Tuscaloosa today. This Alabama football program has won 18 national championships. They're number 10 in the country at 3-1. Vanderbilt is 5-0. Alabama leads for the first time today after the Talty field goal. Connor's kickoff tumbles down in the end zone. Alabama never led in the loss in Nashville to Vandy last year. Vanderbilt got off to a great start after Ty Simpson threw an interception on 4th down and 1. Commodores took it right down the field in 6 plays, 93 yards. They got the ball back, and in 6 plays moved into the red zone again. Diego Pavia the fumble, and they haven't found anywhere near the same rhythm since.
No, and it's because Alabama's done a much better job at the 2nd and 3rd level fitting the run. And so far, the Vanderbilt's passing attack has been okay, but it hasn't resulted in a lot of big plays.
A.J. Newberry is in at running back in the pistol. Junior from Grand Prairie, Texas, has been coming back from an ACL injury. Play clock at 1. Newberry leading the way for Pavia, who gets one, and that's it. In that first quarter, they had 12 plays, 161 yards on the touchdown, since 20 plays for 75 yards for the Vandy offense.
The offensive line really isn't moving the line of scrimmage the way they were early on as well, and it's going to be even more difficult here as they progress into the second half with James Smith, the defensive tackle and all SEC caliber player, returning from the targeting suspension.
Newberry stays in. Short set by Pavia. On target to Eli Stowers. And they're going to mark him just short of the first down. It'll be third down and about a foot.
Stowers been pretty quiet. It's only his second catch, and the first one came on the second play of the game. Alabama's done a pretty good job of neutralizing him. And on third and short, you could probably anticipate Diego Pavia's legs being a factor here.
Third down and inches. The pistol again with Newberry, the running back. Pavia in trouble, dropped for a loss. Domani Jackson up from the corner. Yanze Pierre was running him down. All they needed was 6 inches, and they ran a slow, wide play.
This is a great job by Pierre. Watch his eyes in the backfield the entire time. If he is watching Diego Pavia, keeping his shoulders square, and then as soon as Pavia pulls it, he closes and makes the play.
Do you like the play call?
I would rather just run right at the middle as opposed to a read. I think Pavia is strong enough to get downhill.
Nick Harbor, another punt. Cole Adams, a fair catch. 49-yard punt. They were rolling on their first 2 possessions, but the Alabama defense has ruled the day since. The coaches think Pierre's an emerging star, and Jackson doing better against the run.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I reward full-time fans. Check out this recruit. The ultimate tailgater doesn't just show up, she shows out. This full-time fan deserves a Modelo.
The Colonel believed his KFC chicken sandwich should be huge on flavor. Tender chicken, crisp pickles, but with a tiny $3.99 price. Oh, that crumb looks giant next to that tiny price. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. The $3.99 KFC chicken sandwich.
Another Saturday with Saban.
Hey, Coach. Great W technique.
It's a process to win, and winning is a process.
And one coat for the win.
That's how I roll.
Good one, Coach.
Get one coat hide in over 1,000 colors with Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot.
No weak spots in my coverage.
We put it through the worst, so you get its best. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality.
This is Judy and Pedro. They just bought their first home and are learning a lot. Thanks to Google, Pedro knows more than he wanted to about gravel.
Oh.
And Judy wouldn't call herself a plumber, but she dabbles.
Wait, how do these things work together? Honey, I did it!
So far, if they've learned one thing about home ownership, is that there's a lot to learn. Good thing you can just ask Google.
Domino's Best Deal Ever is back because we know you love to get the most out of your pizza by getting the most on your pizza. Get any hand-tossed pan thin crust or New York-style pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 online. Get extra without paying extra for $9.99 at Domino's.
This game has gotten out of control. All the money, the unpredictability. It's time we instate a commissioner.
Introducing the commissioner of coverage, the Aflac Duck.
Commish, when health insurance falls short, who pays you cash to help with your medical bills?
Aflac. The commissioner has spoken.
I love that duck.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with
Aflac, an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
Y'all could ask about it at work.
Tomorrow on ESPN Sunday NFL Countdown, the latest on Lamar Jackson and all the Ravens injuries. Plus, with all the running back injuries across the league, we'll tell you how some of those running back rotations will work. Back to Sean in Tuscaloosa.
All right, Shefty, thank you. Welcome back, everybody, to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama leading 17-14 midway through the third quarter. And the Tide with it 1st and 10. Their own 21. Ty Simpson's completed his last 7. Alabama's now thrown as a team for 250 plus in every game this year. Simpson dodged the rush, sets up and fires on target. Lazir Brooks to the 49-yard line. 30-yard gain. Again, the athleticism of Simpson making that play happen.
Just a great job by Ty Simpson negotiating the rush initially. This is beautiful. Steps up, goes, buys time. But look, he notices that there's a defender out to the outside. So he has to hold up the receiver just a little bit. But to flip his hips, to get that left shoulder around is extremely difficult.
First catch of the day for Brooks for 30 yards. True freshman from Millville, New Jersey. Slant doesn't connect with Isaiah Horton. Well, Simpson hoping it's a 500 day for his family. His dad, Jason's UT Martin team, has gone down to defeat today in St. Charles, Missouri. Julie Simpson, Jason's wife, Ty's mom, not happy about that. Undoubtedly, she knows they lost 30-14. In the how it's strange, so many things tie together. You know who the Lindenwood quarterback is?
I'm curious. Who is it?
Nate Glantz, who was the young man Jerry Kill was going to offer scholarship to, changed his mind and gave it to Diego Pavia instead. Ty goes to the 49-yard line. After Glantz didn't get that scholarship to New Mexico State, he went to Iowa State, he went to McNeese State, now he's at Lindenwood. And he beat Ty Simpson's dad today.
Small world. I mean, 6 degrees of separation.
Really?
In college football.
Crazy.
What's amazing, too, is Pavia asking him, hey, who is the guy that you played? He goes, Nate Glantz. I mean, he answered within 2 seconds.
They said his coach at New Mexico Military told him, well, just go out and outplay him today, and we'll see if those New Mexico State coaches and Jerry Kill change their mind and offer you the scholarship, and they did. Jerry's now here as a chief consultant to Clark Lee. Simpson on 3rd and 9, a lot of time, and on target to Bernard. Well, there's a quarterback playing better in the country right now than Ty Simpson. I'd like to know who it is. 19 yards and a nice catch by Bernard.
And a great job, too. It's 2-man with a little robber underneath. He knows Bernard's a great route runner, and as he tries to attack defenses, he attacks from the inside out. So many college quarterbacks go outside in where they want to win outside the numbers, but Ty Simpson goes right in the teeth and makes a great throw.
Yeah, Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb were talking about that when they had Michael Penix at Washington, a terrific quarterback, first-round pick. He preferred to throw it to the sides of the field, very rarely over the middle. Simpson, terrific, throwing the ball between the hash marks. Running out of time, ran into his own man as he tried to escape. Finally taken down. The ball is out. There is no whistle. It's being run back by Bryce Cowan for a touchdown for Vanderbilt, at least for the moment. The officials let it go. You can always go back and change it. But once you blow it dead, you can't. Ty Simpson convinced he was down.
Take a look at it right there. Yep, wrist is down.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense, returned for a touchdown.
I think he might have been down a couple of times.
But the officials did it right. That's the right way of doing it. Allow it to uncover, let them score, and then clean it up on the back end. That's the correct way of officiating a play like that.
Zaylen Wood tripped him up. Crowd convinced as they look at the board that it was a fumble. And let's bring in Matt Austin. Matt, what do you think?
Well, I do think he ends up being down. Now, the first contact with the ground was his wrist. The wrist is considered part of the hand, so that would not put him down. It would have to actually be his forearm. But as you saw, he stumbled forward. I do think the full forearm hit with him still having control before it came out. So I would think they would overturn this.
And the ball didn't come out till his forearm hit the ground. So he should be down. They'll have to figure out where to spot it. But what a competitor he is. And by the way, a newcomer is a New York Yankee fan. Walked into our meeting yesterday in a Yankee t-shirt. I said, how long have you been a Yankee fan? So just a couple months. He went to New York with his dad on a quick trip in July before they both had to get to camp. Went to Yankee Stadium, had a chance to meet Aaron Boone and Aaron Judge. Said he was always a Derek Jeter fan after having seen a documentary about him. He was getting teased for being a couple of his friends called him a fake Yankee fan in our
video
presence.
review, the runner's right forearm was down in possession prior to losing possession. The ball replaced at the 33-yard line. It'll be second down and 15.
He took a lot of heat for wearing that Yankee shirt. I just wonder, I wanted to ask him as one of our questions, had the Red Sox won Game 3, would he have been rocking a Red Sox shirt? But I didn't feel like that. You're a Red Sox guy, Sean.
Yes.
You know, maybe apparently maybe he's a bit of a fair weather fan.
I did not start becoming a Red Sox fan in late July.
July 28th was not the time?
No, Ty's quite a bit younger than I am. So it goes as a third sack for Vanderbilt. For a 3-yard loss. Kevin Riley's the running back now. The tight bunch formation to the right. Probably wouldn't try a field goal from here. Nearing 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Simpson on target. Isaiah Horton inside the 25-yard line. Pushing and shoving at the end of the play. Back behind the line of scrimmage. Zaylen Wood and Gino Vandermark being separated. It's a 9-yard gain. Simpson's trying to get them lined up at the 24. They need 6 on this third down.
They're giving him a lot of freedom at the line of scrimmage to make checks and adjustments. Probably going to motion Jam Miller back in here, I would assume. Here he comes.
It's Kevin Riley.
Kevin Riley, excuse me.
They like him in the passing game on third down.
Vanderbilt showing pressure, so you could beat it potentially with a sprint to the right.
Simpson. Riley stayed in the block. Simpson has running room. First down. And a couple of extra yards. He wasn't going to go out of bounds. 13 yards for Ty Simpson.
And a great job, too, by Riley. He's engaged with Hurd. The safety off the left edge gets just enough of him to allow Ty Simpson to escape. He knew he had Jeremy Bernard out in front. Instead, he felt like he'd get it with his legs, and he does.
They brought a blitz, and Riley's not a big running back, 5'11", 190 pounds. Did his job very well. Jam Miller's back in. Simpson goes under center. Simpson's in trouble. And he's needed to throw that one away. Sacked for the 4th time. This time by Miles Capers.
You just can't take that sack. And I think, look, Ty Simpson's done a great job all season of buying time, escaping pressure, getting out of it. But sometimes the defense wins. And at this point, they've won. There's 4 defenders that are in pursuit. You got to throw that one 10 rows up into the stands. Big mistake by Ty.
Thrown down by Capers. Corday Sidnor had pressure as well. 10 yards. 4 sacks. Diego Pavia waiting for his turn, hoping they can force a field goal try. That pass batted down. He was trying to get it over the middle to Josh Cuevas, and it was knocked down by Joshua Singh.
Trying to get something underneath to make this third down a little more manageable. Big thing for Ty, though. He can't take a sack here, make that field goal more difficult.
3rd and 20. Checks it down. Jam Miller down way short of the first down. Duo of linebackers, Brian Longwell and Langston Patterson there. So a good stop for Steve Gregory's defense to force the field goal and keep it a one-score game.
That sack, though, just still shows that Ty Simpson, albeit fourth-year junior, still very young and early in his development and game management. You just can't take that sack, get you that far behind the sticks when you're in the red zone.
Talty 1 for 2 today. Missed from 47. Inside of 40. He's still perfect for the year. That's a 30-yarder. And a 6-point Alabama lead with 1:17 to go in the third quarter. Simpson's thrown for 321. Pavia's turn when we come back.
With schizophrenia, it can feel like your symptoms decide what you do and who you can be. If you still have symptoms, be bold and ask your healthcare provider about Cobenfy, a twice-daily pill for the treatment of schizophrenia. Cobenfy is not an antipsychotic. It's a different kind of treatment. Cobenfy showed overall improvement across a range of schizophrenia symptoms. And in clinical studies, most people saw no substantial weight gain.
Don't take if allergic to Cobenfy, have trouble emptying your bladder or stomach, certain liver problems, or untreated narrow angle glaucoma. Serious side effects such as urinary retention, worsening liver, kidney, bile duct, and gallbladder problems, slow stomach emptying, serious allergic reactions, narrow angle glaucoma, increased heart rate, and side effects in those with kidney problems may occur. Don't drive or use heavy machinery until you know how Cobenfy affects you. Seek help right away if you have hives, swelling of your face, lips, mouth, tongue, or throat, hoarseness, difficulty speaking, breathing, or emptying your bladder.
Imagine what could be Cobenfy.
Imagine what could be Cobenfy.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. When I add the Dijon mustard to this pretzel bun, it takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Now you can watch the funniest movie of the year at home.
Is he serious?
You better believe it.
Only one comedy goes all the way.
You've made me a very happy woman.
Me too.
The Naked Gun. Rated PG-13. Now streaming on Paramount+.
A large touchscreen keeps everyone happy. The Subaru Crosstrek. Dog tested, dog approved.
It's college football season, and he's on week 3 of his DoorDash streak.
He orders every Saturday and gets sweet deals on food, like the Whopper from Burger King.
That's big winning energy.
Win every week with DoorDash streaks. Opt in, order every Saturday, build the savings.
Let's go, bud. Hurry up. Come on. I'm a baseball dad. Just because I didn't go pro doesn't mean my kid won't. Give me that.
No pressure, kid. Just everyone watching.
Coach says it doesn't matter if you win or lose the game, but that's what losers say. You got to swivel those hips, right? And you got to swing. Or! And if you don't have the right insurance, you can be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
From Hollywood, it's Dancing with the Stars.
Mario Cristobal and the Miami Hurricanes arriving to Oak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee for their rivalry game with number 18 Florida State. In his 4th season now, he has them 4-0. They've made some progress, but Hurricanes fans want more. Connor Talty the kickoff, and it's a touchback.
Diego Pavia's had some good moments today. It started early on the ground. The misdirection's just a thing of beauty. You roll that running back out to the left, look at him, little cute counter with a lot of green grass out in front. Very nicely done. Then the RPO's been pretty good as well. See those 2 defenders sneak into the backfield, assuming run. He throws it right behind him. It's been pretty efficient, but there hasn't been the big play. They feel like they're much more explosive this year, but it hasn't materialized against this defense. At some point, they got to take a shot.
They've done very little since the first 2 drives. Pavia. You think that was a design run?
That was kind of like a quarterback draw RPO. So he drops back, you have a guy wide, you also have a guy on the hitch. So if they come up and take the quarterback, you throw it at the hitch. But so far, Alabama, big priority in this game is to be sticky in coverage and don't overreact to him taking off. And they've made plays inside the box because of it.
One of the things Kane Womack emphasized with the defense, don't go for that pump fake, jump in the air, just get a hand up in case he does throw it. On 2nd and 7, final seconds of the quarter. Pavia got it off through the traffic. Richie Hoskins, a first down to the 41-yard line, 13 yards. They don't have to snap it again. And they might not as they're going into the huddle.
This is one area where I do think Diego Pavia has grown so much. Last year, if the first play wasn't there, he'd take off and run and try to create the big play. Now he's being a little more methodical, and you have to respect the underneath and the downfield.
Will they get it off before the end of the quarter? No. 2 field goals for Alabama in the 3rd quarter. Take a 6-point lead into the 4th. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Pronamel, clinical enamel strength, can help us to keep our enamel for a lifetime. It's backed by science. It is clinically proven to strengthen our teeth. I would recommend this toothpaste to everybody. It's really an amazing product.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl is back. So first round, get a favorite. Your go-to. Second round, be braver, bolder. Have what she's having, what he's having. Get that 3rd round of breadsticks. Go for a hot take on our new spicy 3-meat sauce. You know, throw some spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks. And try it all with our never-ending first course. Never-ending pasta bowl, starting at $13.99. Back for a limited time.
Oh, you want to put the heavier items on the bottom.
Let's let him do his job.
Right.
Young homeowners love to get involved with everything.
Latte for Jan?
We got a latte for Jan.
Remember, you don't work here.
Latte for Jan?
Ooh, I think the chicken marsala.
Ooh, I would not have that.
Julie?
Jan, Jan as in January.
Canned goods, OJ, root beer, then probably sandwich cookies.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
Could be Jan, I guess. Jan?
The Jimenez family are having battery issues. But a friendly AutoZoner tests their battery and helps them find the right Duralast battery to get back on the road.
Y'all make sure y'all get 3 for $5 because they ain't advertising it, honey.
Oh, we're advertising it. Get 3 pieces of our crispy, juicy signature chicken for just $5. How's that?
Let's go to Popeyes.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can explore the neighborhood or live like a local. Unplug for the day or plunge into a long weekend. With IHG's 20 hotel brands, you can guest how you guest.
Chad Powers, he's the original.
Let's get on tape.
And Michael even said this.
He was looking better in that tryout than when I played with him.
Now, Monday morning, Eli Manning is live on GMA.
Don't tell him I said that.
Monday on Good Morning America.
We're halfway through this journey, and it's working.
The longer I'm here, the more opportunities I'm going to have. I would become more of an influencer.
Nicole has ulterior motives. It's scary.
Welcome back to Alabama here with head coach Kalen DeBoer. Coach, at the half, you said you wanted your defense to play with more physicality. What do you need them to do here?
Yeah, they've done a nice job the first 2 drives here, and just got to really continue to do our job, you know, and keep lining up, make them play another play. They got off the field, you know, we got to make sure we get a stop here.
Thank you, Coach.
Every game is important. Either coach at Alabama and Kalen DeBoer, some feel bigger than others. This is a big one for him. Trying to get some traction, put together a winning streak. They've won 3 in a row. A.J. Newberry, the ball carrier, driven back by a host of tacklers, including James Smith. Wonder if there's something wrong with Alexander, who's their best back. Apparently not. He's trotting on now with Eli Stowers. And Stowers, Greg's had a quiet game by his standards. Just 2 catches for 14 yards.
They need to get him involved at some point. I mean, he's been well defended by Alabama. He's a huge priority for their defense, knowing where he's at all times. He needs to get some looks, though, on a pivotal drive.
Stowers had 6 catches last year for 113, a career high in receiving yards in that win against the Tide. Pavia throws it out wide. Junior Sherrill shoved out short of the marker by John Lee. Gain of 7, 3rd down and 2, a minute into the 4th quarter.
Got to be thinking if you're Tim Beck. It's one of 2 people. It's Diego Pavia's legs, but not off Reed. It's downhill. Or it's Eli Stowers off something underneath. Stowers not being on the game, got to be thinking it's Pavia's legs.
Or Alexander behind him in the pistol. 3 out of 7 on 3rd down. They had that disastrous 3rd down moments ago on his 3rd and inches. Pavia after the fake has a receiver wide open. Cole Spence dragged down by Bray Hubbard. Great call by Tim Beck. And Spence went down to the 17-yard line. The 33-yard gain.
And this is the exact same play that Vanderbilt ran earlier, except they went with the quarterback read. This time they go with the play action off of it. Last time Bama stopped Pavia behind the line of scrimmage. Same look, same everything, except this play action. It's perfectly designed and executed by the Doors.
Spence had 1 catch for Clark Lee all season prior to today's at 2 for 45 yards. They're at the 17. Cedric Alexander on the left hip of Pavia. Pavia over the middle, intercepted, threw it into traffic, and it got picked off by Keon Sabb. Tim Beck with a stunned look. He hasn't seen Diego Pavia do that very often. Forced it over to the middle. His 2nd turnover in the red zone today. Sabb picked it off and brought it back 11 yards. Alabama the ball in a 6-point lead in the 4th quarter.
T-Mobile has the best network. That's why there's no better place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. Hold on.
Is this big enough? We should have music, lights, banners. I mean, you gotta feel it. Get the most powerful iPhone ever on the best network. I sure dance.
This is big. At T-Mobile, get the incredible new iPhone 17 Pro on us on the best network.
No more coffee for Zoe.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, now serves up the all-new Big QP for just $10.99. And that's 85% more beef than some quarter-pound burger. Yeah, hey, fast food, this is how you value meal. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Man, you in my world now.
And?
Let's go to work.
Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center.
Love your plugins but wish you had more scent control? Meet the Febreze Plug Scent Booster.
Enjoy the same 50 days of continuous incentives for Breeze Plug, including a cord for flexible placement options and a boost button for extra scent. For Breeze Plug Scent Booster.
Say you get a surf shack on Airbnb. Now you can also get a surf lesson with a pro surfer. Or if you get a place in Mexico City, you can also get a taco tasting with a food critic. You can even get a home in the heart of Seoul and a dance class, K-pop style.
All of my girls looking good and they got their own money.
Homes, experiences, and services. Now you can Airbnb more than an Airbnb.
It's time for a reset. McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Extra value meals are back, only at McDonald's.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach! Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
What the heck is that?
Take cover! 118, brace for impact!
Diego Pavia, the interception, picked off by Keon Sabb. Both turnovers by Pavia have come in the red zone. Latzia Brooks goes in motion. Ty Simpson dumps it off. Blockers out in front of Kevin Riley. Good call by Ryan Grubb, well executed.
Let's go back to that interception a moment ago. Vanderbilt has 3 guys into the boundary, which means Keon Sabb with this quarters poach coverage. He's poaching any in-breaking route. So what does he do? He sees it, jumps it right in front of it. That's a terrible mistake by Diego Pavia.
Uncharacteristic. There's a flag down, and the throw goes over the head of Jeremy Bernard. But Vanderbilt was offside. It was a freebie for Simpson.
Defense, number 99. In the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That play a moment ago by Pavia, you have to know against that defense, that backside safety is who you have to locate. If he moves towards the passing strength where he was moving, you have to work one-on-one to the left-hand side. And Pavia throws it right where they wanted him to, and Sabb makes him pay.
In a year and a half now with Vanderbilt, just the second multiple turnover game for Pavia. The other one was last year against Texas, then ranked number 5. 1st and 5. Simpson looked like he was going to run, lofted it out to Williams, and that's well defended by Brian Longwell. Loss of 1. The interception by Sabb, his first of the season, is 3rd for Alabama.
For a defensive player injury.
He had 2 last year. He also had 2 for Michigan in 2023 when he was a member of the national championship team that beat Kalen DeBoer in the University of Washington.
I know they're very happy to have Sabb back too, because when he was lost last year against Tennessee with a foot injury, big absence in the back end. He's a great presence for him.
Colby Taylor is the injured player for Vanderbilt.
Sorry about that. We'd like to try the Monster menu.
The Monster menu at BK is frightfully fun for families of all kinds.
You rule.
Hi, you might know me from my other job, but I'm a business owner too. Here at Once Upon a Farm, we chose the Capital One Venture X business card. With no preset spending limit, our purchasing power adapts to meet our business needs. Love it. And unlimited double miles means we earn more too. Sweet, right? And when we travel, we get access to over 1,000 airport lounges. I could get used to this. The Capital One Venture X business card. What's in your wallet?
Good? Yeah.
Really good.
All right. Same thing?
Yup. This is our year.
You know, if getting AT&T's best deal on the new iPhone 17 Pro without needing the most expensive plan taught me anything, it's that switching things up can be a good call. So how about we try something that's timeless?
Oh, yeah. Good call. Ooh. Get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us. Designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet. Most expensive plan not required.
Every Al has something to protect.
I don't think I'm doing this right.
Al Chun.
You can have me that pink cup?
Alan Hagen.
I'm not going to spend my retirement on land.
Als who start a business.
She's the boss now.
And pass it down. Competitive Als.
It's actually Allie.
Weird Als.
My friends think I'm normal.
Whoever you are, you've got something to protect.
You know, look at the camera.
And with investment, retirement, and insurance know-how, Prudential can help protect your life's work.
There you are.
Who's your rock?
SEC on ABC College Football is presented by Burger King. You rule.
Spirited game. A lot of emotion coming in after Vandy's upset win against Alabama last year. Last year, Vanderbilt dominated the time of possession over 42 minutes. Today, a significant edge for Alabama. 3 for 3 in the red zone, while Diego Pavia has had 2 critical red zone turnovers. Colby Taylor helped off, favoring his left leg. Their starting cornerback is in the tent. 2nd and 5 for Alabama, up by 6, nearing 11 and a half to go. Simpson dumped it off. Rico Scott hit hard along the sideline by Dante Carter. Here comes a very important 3rd down for Simpson in the Tide. 3rd down and 5 after no gain on that play to Scott.
One thing we haven't seen throughout this game is an option route by Alabama's slot receivers. That's usually their go-to on 3rd and medium. You can build out of a bunch, you can do out of a condensed formation, but the option route has been their friend. So I'd be looking towards the top, some type of option with Bernard or one of those receivers in the bunch.
Jam Miller, the running back. Commodores rush 4. They still flush Simpson. He's running out of room. Dumped it over the middle. 1st down. Isaiah Horton. Again, the ability of Simpson to extend the play, get somebody open, and he found the big target, Horton.
He just never gives up on the play. It's poorly protected up front, flushes him into the boundary, but he just gets rid of it before he goes out of bounds. Ty Simpson is growing up before our eyes, man.
Jam Miller chopped down after a good 1st down run. C.J. Hurd another tackle, 5 yards there. Ty Simpson in his 4th year in the program. The previous 3 as a backup. 1 year to Bryce Young, the last 2 to Jalen Milroe. He has become a leader of this team. Spirited messages before they took the field at Georgia. And he was one of the team leaders who galvanized this squad after the loss at Florida State to start the year. Good job by Miller, able to stay on his feet. And they're going to mark him about a foot short of the 1st down. Another tackle for Jalen Stone, has played very well in the middle of that Vanderbilt defense. Junior from Decatur, Georgia. They're lining up quickly. They put Simpson under center. And he found a crease off left tackle for a 1st down to the Vandy 44.
That was a really heads-up play by Ty Simpson. Vandy stopping the QB sneak. Had 3 or 4 guys right inside. So what does Ty do? Sees the bubble to the left over the left tackle. He decided to take that sweet sneak right outside, and it leads to the conversion.
8:45 on the clock running. They've taken nearly 4 minutes off the clock on this possession.
I wonder at some point, does Bama go for the jugular with a double move and try to throw it deep?
Miller. The Vandy defense starting to look a little bit tired, not doing a good job getting off blocks. Over 32 minutes time of possession now for Alabama. And Miller's up to 92 yards on 15 carries. A field goal would be enormous. Miller bounced outside. First down at the 30-yard line. Jalen Lackey made the tackle, the cornerback. 9 yards. That gets Miller up to 102.
This is a great job by Jam Miller. You'll see the defensive end work inside. He bounces it to the outside. This is beautifully done. Kind of sets him up, very patient. Boom, right to the outside where there's a lot of room.
His second career 100-yard game. Had 140 against USF last year. This would be considered fringe of field goal range given Talty's history. Riley weaves his way. He's down at the 22, banged down by Nick Rinaldi. But 7 more.
This is just a statement drive from Alabama. Just nursing the clock, allowing that offensive line to go to work and trying to take advantage of this depleted or this tired Vanderbilt defensive front.
Now been on the field for more than 33.5 minutes. 10th play of the drive. Riley cannot escape. He did well to get to the 20-yard line. Sing and Stone there again.
It's amazing how Alabama has kind of taken Vanderbilt's plan from last year and tried to implement it themselves. Bama last year had just 45 offensive snaps. Now, with just 6 minutes remaining, Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia have snapped the ball offensively just 40 times to Alabama's 61. So fatigue starting to set in for the Doors.
Lots of maneuvering. Simpson runs under center. They give it to Caden Proctor for the first down. The offensive tackle made a catch and bowled people over after it at Georgia last Saturday night. Who wants to tackle 366 pounds?
How about the big fella up inside on fullback dive? But look at the big old pocket right there. That right arm up, doing it exactly how he's supposed to, rolling through it and finding his way to the first down. You just got to give your big guy a steak at some point, you know? I mean, give him a steak right there. Toting the ball, that's a steak.
6'7", 366. Junior from Des Moines. Miller. Some nifty play calls by Ryan Grubb. And here's a look back at last week's second quarter, final seconds of the quarter. Proctor to the 2-yard line from the 13. They scored a touchdown on the next play. Holly Rowe reported, and part of that was reward for the great job he's done losing weight. That has been a struggle for him, that he's over 9-week span lost significant weight. In some ways, these ball handling plays are his reward.
I think it's a real impressive feat too. When you talk with Ryan Grubb, he really applauded Caden Proctor's professional approach, saying it's fun to see a guy go from amateur to professional right before your eyes, and Caden's commitment the last few months have been remarkable.
Timeout Vanderbilt. A tremendous drive ongoing for Bama.
Hi,
Play for an ultra?
Racing for an ultra?
Don't forget, there's ultras on the line.
I didn't.
Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer.
Man, this takes me back. All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
When you're driven by greatness, you chart your own course. Set your own standards. Blaze your own trails. Create your own traditions. Control your own destiny. And let everyone else follow.
Thursday Night Football. It's on Prime.
This week, the Philadelphia Eagles face the New York Giants. Into the end zone. Stream Thursday Night Football. Eagles, Giants at 7 p.m. Eastern. Only on Prime.
Oh, I'm ready.
Businesses work best when they put people first. Your dedicated Cintas service reps help make sure your team has the essential products they need, where and when they need them, to help keep them looking great, feeling confident,
And ready to be their best. Get Cintas.
Oh, I'm ready.
And get ready for the workday.
Chipotle's carne asada is back. It's our most tender cuts of steak, grilled and seasoned with cumin, oregano, and coriander. Finished with fresh lime and hand-chopped cilantro. Carne asada. This is our best steak ever.
At Fairfield, every moment of a perfect game day shapes your fandom. Whether it's stepping out with your crew, grabbing the fuel you need to support your team, or getting that flawless assist from a fellow fan. Be ready. Wherever the season takes you, Marriott Bonvoy has a hotel brand for every kind of fan. Official hotel partner of the NCAA.
Who's that?
When we're finished here in Tuscaloosa, it's on to Tallahassee. Malachi Toney, an undefeated third-ranked Miami at Florida State. He's had a terrific freshman year. They did their opener against Notre Dame. The coaches and the quarterback Carson Beck were raving about him, and he's lived up to it. 15th play of this drive. They've had the ball for 8 minutes and 21 seconds. A statement drive indeed. It's a blitz coming after Ty Simpson, and an incomplete pass. Diving attempt made by Ryan Williams. Simpson had to throw it on the run. Here is a huge field goal attempt upcoming for Connor Talty. Keep an eye on Emmanuel Davey. 8 career block kicks, 7 of them at Cornell. They had one this year against Georgia State. He missed from 47, good from 38 and 30. He hasn't missed from inside of 40 this year. This is from 30 and a 2-score lead. A 15-play, 8.5-minute drive gives them a 2-score lead, up by 9 with 4:08 to go.
Just a throwback drive for Kalen DeBoer. I mean, you watch Alabama win 1,000,000 games in this building for the last 20 years, and it was drives like that. Physically imposing along the line of scrimmage, committed to the run, timely third down conversions, and just sucking the life out of the opposition on the opposite sideline. Just a tremendous drive there for the Tide.
Ty Simpson, 23 for 31 for 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, and his first career interception. 27 plays over the last 2 drives. They've had the ball for just about 14.5 minutes in that span. Talty will kick off to Trey Richardson. Richardson is going to try it from the goal line. Latsier Brooks slowed him down initially, bounced off a second hit as well. Richardson turned the corner and went out at the 35-yard line. Took the kicker, Talty. Flags thrown late by the referee. In a low penalty game, something we haven't said very often this year.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, receiving team number 92. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul, first down.
And that's a huge penalty. Instead of starting at the 35, down by 2 scores, the ball's coming back inside the 20. Jalen Stone's had a very nice game. They had a lot of tackles in the middle of that defense. But that's a killer.
Just a completely unnecessary decision there by Stone. Way behind the play, going out of his way to try to take out an Alabama player, and he costs his team. Just a critical error.
2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout for Vanderbilt. Alabama's going to lose a timeout on defense.
We'll show you exactly what Stone did, and this is him as he's engaged right there. He actually came from way out of the picture and got about a 20-yard head start to create that contact, and it's just completely unnecessary. And Vanderbilt, known for being so disciplined, so well coached, a very uncharacteristic mistake there for a key defender.
Clark Lee let him have it. Now I think he's trying to pick the young man up again. He's clearly very emotional. It didn't look like a lot to me. I mean, it did happen when the return man was out of bounds, but looked like there was a little help in selling the call from the Alabama player. So 1st and 10 after the Bama timeout. Pavia had to get rid of it. Intended for Junior Sherrill.
We'll go back one more time. This is the running start right here. Watch him out of his way behind the play, and delivers a big hit. It's completely unnecessary, and the official was all over it.
Pavia chased out of the pocket, puts his head down and has, we believe, a first down. He does at the 25. But the clock is running. It's an 11-yard gain. He got him lined up quickly. He had Alexander on a check down, goes to Sherrill instead. But they still haven't made it to the point they would have had it after the kickoff had there not been the penalty. Still 3:19 to go.
Still very important for Alabama in coverage. Pavia, they'll let him run. It's still a 2-score game. They need to be very disciplined in coverage and let those pass rushers get home. Don't try to be a hero and uncover and allow the big play over the top.
Clock is running. Pavia took his time on that play. Keon Sabb came on a blitz. He grabbed Pavia as he was going to throw it, and it's an incomplete pass. What a quarter for Sabb. He had the big interception in the red zone, and now a pass breakup as Pavia could not get out of his grasp.
Just great strength there shown by Sabb. Pavia is so strong, usually can survive that type of grab. But Sabb maintains control and drops the quarterback.
On 3rd down and 5, he has a man open, and it is caught, said the officials, by Trey Richardson. Alabama sideline nearest to it. Thought that bounced in. Pavia is going to get him lined up quickly. That's not a catch.
The ruling on the field is a completed catch. The previous play is under video review.
And it shouldn't take in review. It was pretty. As a matter of fact, you could read Kalen DeBoer's lips. You saw that, saying to the line judge right in front of him, Jeremiah Harris, that was clear as a bell.
Very clear, but actually in some ways a bit of a blessing in disguise for Alabama's defense. Now their pass rushers get 30 seconds, 45 seconds to kind of catch their breath, calm down a little bit, and then re-rack for that final push. So I think in this situation, while frustrated it's not called correctly initially, it does actually help Alabama's defensive front some.
You saw that.
After video review,
So did 100,000 others.
Prior to possession, it'll be 4th down and 5 at the 3.5-yard line, and the clock will start on the snap.
Diego Pavia, the famous quote during the week, if we play our game, it won't be close. He has not played his game today. 2 red zone turnovers, and that is an instance where he had a receiver wide open on a play they needed to have, and he threw the ball short.
Opportunity to end the game now for Alabama. This is where your pass rushers have to shine. Keep an eye on Yonze Pierre, 42.
Alexander, the running back. Last chance for Pavia and Vanderbilt. Sab, another blitz. Diego throws another interception. There is a flag down. Xavier Mincy bringing it back. Then he gets hit out of bounds by Bryce Henderson, the tackle. There are 2 flags at the play. There was 1 down while the ball was still in play. And then the second flag came flying for the hit by Henderson on Mincy. Now, I guess in that instance, Greg, you can't blame Pavia. I mean, it's 4th down. You got to throw it someplace. You have to make a play, take a chance.
There are fouls on each team during the play. Prior to the pass, holding defense number 14. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot and includes a 1st down. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, passing team number 55. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced after enforcing the defensive hold. 1st down, Vanderbilt.
So there is still life for the Commodores on the defensive holding penalty.
I think they might have called the wrong number because it looked like it might have been Mincy, who was the one that ultimately made the play. It looked like he might have grabbed the jersey as the receiver was trying to break free, but in return, the late hit backs Vandy up again.
Yeah, the 2 personal foul penalties have been huge. The one at the end of the kickoff, and that hit out of bounds. They have the ball, but they're back on the 25-yard line and running out of time. 2.5 minutes to go. Richardson, transfer from Division II Washburn in Kansas, gets 6. Justin Jefferson, another tackle. Pavia gets him lined up quickly. The dink and dunk isn't going to get it done. He has Stowers running down the middle of the field. Went over his head and threw it to Hoskins instead. Too high for him. Jay Kirkpatrick Jr. part of the coverage. They had plenty of crimson shirts around the Vanderbilt receivers. Third down and 4 with Alexander behind Pavia, now to his right hip. Stowers the catch. They get the first down, get a fresh set of downs, and that'll get them to the 2-minute stoppage.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
8-yard gain. They've had it for 8 plays on this drive. They've moved it only 25 yards. 9-point lead for Bama.
Well, you Heismans are a little far from the house.
Sheriff Boz, what seems to be the problem?
I bet you it's the horse driving the car thing. Bingo, Barry. Can he even see?
Not a lick.
Out of the car.
Here we go.
Dispatch, I got a horse behind the wheel.
What? The 295 horsepower Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek.
Papa John's went all in creating a new Papa Dipper. Our first pizza designed for dipping. It comes with the garlic sauce flight, 3 new flavors plus the original. This is dipping done better. The new Papa Dipper. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
We have down here and one up there.
Nope.
So I
just kept
going.
This is ours?
I just kept going.
Cause I'm in shoo shoo shoo, shoo shoo shoo, shoo 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 shoo, Sugar Town.
Gemini, which of these would be a little less expected?
Check out the alliums. They'd go great with the hydrangeas below.
Will those last till Saturday?
Yeah, they should last until Saturday if they're kept in water.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I unlatched Bevo's gate while taking a selfie.
Bevo, no! Come back!
Checking Allstate first was really smart. Not checking Bevo's gate, though, not smart. Well, at least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds. Hook 'em.
One day, a tiny little hand reached out and wrapped around your finger. Now, they have you wrapped around theirs. Soon, those little hands won't be so little anymore. Until then, let's escape together. Hand in hand on a Disney cruise. Get 50% off voyage fare on 3rd and 4th guests on select sailings between October 3rd, 2025 and March 30th, 2026 with the purchase of 2 full fare guests.
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get a free large drink in the Sonic app this month only. That's one hand-smashed Angus beef Sonic Smasher plus a free large drink when you order in the app. It's the QB1 of burger deals.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I reward full-time fans. Check out this recruit. The conductor can single-handedly hype up the crowd. This full-time fan deserves a Modelo.
You're watching the SEC on ABC. The big number today, the 36-22 time of possession for Alabama. That was under 18 minutes in the loss to Vandy last year in Nashville. 1st and 10 Vanderbilt, down by 9 with 2 minutes to go from their own 39. Pavia taken down by Justin Jefferson.
Right, Vandy's not trying to use a timeout here, especially considering how far downfield those receivers were.
That's through the hands of Stowers, who has not had a good day. They've had this ball for 10 plays. They've moved it 14 yards. 2 personal fouls hurt. Vandy desperately trying to get to 6-0 for the first time since 1928. Really up against it now with 1:34 to go.
You can just anticipate at this point, Bama play prevent defense the rest of the way.
Third down, 21. Pavia throws on the run, and it's broken up and almost intercepted by Zabian Brown.
Looked like Brown was going to secure it, but Richardson does a great job throwing a shoulder in there to dislodge the football.
They had an interception on this possession taken back by the holding penalty. Very nearly had another. And again, a last play for Vanderbilt if they don't convert. Pavia's 3 for his last 12 for 19 yards and an interception. Alabama back deep in coverage. They got close to him with a 4-man rush, and Stowers couldn't make the catch. He would have had the first down. He did not hang on. Like his best pal Pavia, he has not had his best day. The Commodores with 2 timeouts left. Kane Womack's defense with a big performance today. And Alabama's on the verge of 4 wins in a row and going to 2-0 in the SEC for the 9th time in the last 10 years.
And it was a great effort by Stowers and Pavia just to give him a chance on 4th and forever. And Kane Womack has done a fantastic job throughout this game. Got gashed early with a couple big runs. Defense then settled in. He made some tweaks and adjustments. Secondary played better in run support. And they, for the most part, shut Vandy down these last 3 quarters.
Out of the gun, Jam Miller to the 24. Clark Lee will use one of his 2 remaining timeouts.
Timeout, Vanderbilt.
The reality has set in on the Vanderbilt sideline. Here are the Capital One college football rankings entering today. Coming up as soon as we're finished here, on to Tallahassee at the bottom of the hour for Miami and Florida State. That game is now over at the Coliseum. Penn State has lost 42-37. So back-to-back losses. Alabama will move ahead of them. Texas is also trailing at Florida. Johnny Manziel with some advice for Diego Pavia. They were okay with him being brash and saying what he said, but you have to back it up. He didn't back it up today.
No, he didn't. Did not have his best stuff whatsoever. That young man's a warrior. Fully expect him to bounce back in a big way, but to beat the Tide in Tuscaloosa, you have to be at your best, and he wasn't.
Jam Miller. Vandy will use its last timeout. Well, he was backing it up at the beginning of the game. They went on a 93-yard drive, led 7-0. They were driving again on their second possession. They were in the red zone, but he fumbled, and that's really when the game turned. Threw an interception later to Keon Sabb. 19 of 33 for 183. 1 interception, 1 fumble lost. He threw a touchdown. He rushed for 58.
Wow,
he's a terrific player. They had a really good team. And I think if he played better, the result might have been different.
100%. This is a good football team. And I know today people draw conclusions, but this is a team that was up to the test. And they deserve some credit. They made some critical mistakes, and Alabama deserves tons of credit for forcing them to make those mistakes. Justin Jefferson ripping that ball out. Keon Sabb making a big pick with the back against the wall. Bama made the plays, Vandy didn't, but this Vandy team's not going anywhere under Clark Lee. They'll be a tough out for everybody all year.
Miller stopped short of the first down. I would think you go for this. You wouldn't risk a field goal, risk a block. Even if you don't get it, you're still up by 2 scores. They have no timeouts. They're going to have no time on the clock. So the offense is going to stay out there. Well, you live here, you played here. What's the temperature now of Kalen DeBoer?
I think people are starting to see the fruits of the team's labor. And I think they're starting to see, hey, it's a team that can go and compete and play with anybody. And I think since the Florida State game, which was a rude awakening for everybody, the response has been tremendous. The edge that you've referenced throughout the show, Sean, has been tremendous as well. And they have an inspired team with a great leader and a great coach and a quarterback that's playing as well as anybody in college football right now.
Well, Ty Simpson said, and we asked him, does it bother you and your teammates, the heat that Kalen DeBoer is getting? He said, well, it would have happened to anybody who replaced Nick Saban. He said people doubt him because he's not Coach Saban. People are doubting us, and we really have just tried to block it all out. We're playing for each other and for ourselves. And I think back to what the great Bill Parcells used to say all the time, you are what your record says you are. If this stays in the win column, Kalen DeBoer as a head coach is going to be 117 wins and 17 losses.
Even more impressively, his performances against AP ranked teams.
Well, he's going to go to 13-2, which is the best winning percentage of all time in ranked against ranked matchups.
And one of those losses was the national championship to an incredible Michigan team, and another was at Fresno. The guy can flat out coach ball.
He sure can. And he's a great person, and he's going to have a touchdown from Jam Miller. It seems we say it every week. That score was meaningful to a lot of people.
Many people.
Many people.
A whole bunch of people.
What a day for Jam Miller. With that touchdown, he's at 136 yards, just 4 shy of his career high. 140 against South Florida last year. And bear in mind, they played Florida State without him. And the coaches, Kalen DeBoer talked about that first game of the season. First of all, tough opponent. You're playing a team with the new offensive coordinator, Gus Malzahn. It's the first game for Ty Simpson with Ryan Grubb. And there's a learning curve there as well. But the response has been terrific.
Outstanding. And it's not what happens, it's how you respond. And that's been the rallying cry for the team. And look, the Florida State game was a tough game. That's an inspired opponent that had that game circled for 2 years against a great quarterback, a really good offensive coordinator in Gus Malzahn, and a really good coach in Mike Norvell in a hostile setting. So this, I think, has been tremendous these last few games to see how this team has rallied together, ignored the outside noise, and focus on the task at hand. That's performing at a high level.
Simpson was terrific. I do think the biggest play of the game was made by Justin Jefferson when he ripped the ball away from Pavia. When it looked like at the very least Vanderbilt would be ahead 10-0, perhaps even 14-0. The whole game changed on that play. And it would have been interesting to see what the crowd was like had that game gone to 10-0 or 14-0.
I think one other thing too about this Alabama team is in the past, last year and especially against Florida State, the initial response to getting punched was not great. Well, they got punched today, and the response has been outstanding even throughout this game, which says a lot about how this team has grown and matured.
Well, last year the loss to Vanderbilt sent them into a spin of mediocrity. We wound up after that 4-0 start finishing 5-4 with some really poor performances. Alexander tackled immediately by Nakai Hill-Green, and Vanderbilt not in any big hurry. Last play, barring a penalty, Pavia on target. Bryson Coleman swung down, and that's it. Ty Simpson and the Crimson Tide now 5-1 against ranked opponents under Kalen DeBoer. They've won 4 in a row since the opening loss at Florida State. Big day for Jam Miller, the difference maker. You know, we talk about Pavia saying what he said. He was being true to himself.
Yeah.
And I don't think Clark Lee would want to change that. Matter of fact, he said he had no problem with it. And he'll continue to be that way. And it's that attitude that has helped turn this program around.
No denying that. And you also saw how many Alabama players went over to dap him up. There is respect that Alabama has for that young man. There is. There's a lot of respect that they have. Tim Keener right there, one of the captains for the Tide, going out of his way to go tell Diego, hey, keep doing your thing. Because while it might have galvanized Bama, some of his messaging this week, they also recognize the talent he has and the chip on the shoulder that he plays with.
How much more could his comments really have galvanized them? I mean, they lost to this team last year. Clark Lee showing his respect for Ty Simpson. Deservedly so. Ty Simpson is vaulting to the top of a lot of Heisman lists, and he's with Molly.
Thank you, Sean. Ty, running back Jam Miller with that touchdown to seal it, over 100 yards rushing today. What kind of physicality did you see from the line of scrimmage in the run game today?
Yeah, you know, we challenged the guys up front all week, right? You know, everybody was like, they can't run the ball, they can't run the ball. Well, you know, we ran for over 100 yards a night, man. The guys up front did such a good job. You know, really proud of Jam and Kevin, the way they run. But all credit to those guys up front. We couldn't have done it without them, and, you know, I'm really, really proud, and we just got to do it again next week.
Vanderbilt punched early, but you guys certainly punched back. What kind of maturity did you see out of yourself in this group?
Yeah, you know, I say all the time, right? Like, our group is resilient, you know, through all the stuff that we've been through. And I told them on the sideline, like, hey, it's going to be a heavyweight fight, man. You know, we got to keep punching. It's the man! Yes, sir. We got to keep punching. You know, they're a good team, and in the SEC, right? You know, every week's a hard week. We'll see those guys again. I mean, just a ton of respect for those guys, but a ton of respect for my teammates.
Your defense with timely turnovers that changed this game. How motivated was that group today?
All week, man. They were so motivated. I'm so happy and so proud of them. You know, Coach Womack did such a good job in the defensive staff. D-Law and Tim Keenan, hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Thanks. You know, they challenged them all week. You know, we told them, like, last week or last year, right, you know, is gone, but it's never forgotten. We knew how, you know, we came, but we're going to make sure that, you know, that doesn't happen again.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you. God bless.
Sean.
Likeable young man, first year as a starter. He's become a team leader and one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Alabama starting to look like Alabama again. 486 yards of offense, big plays by the defense. It started well for Clark Lee, but Jefferson's strip turned the game around. Final score, Alabama 30, Vanderbilt 14. For Greg McElroy, Molly McGrath, Sean McDonough, so long from Tuscaloosa. Let's send you to the studio. Here's Kevin.
Sean, thank you so much. Here with Booger McFarland. A year ago, Vandy.
This presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ABC.
Sean, thank you so much. Kevin Nagani alongside Booger McFarland. A year ago, Vandy shocked Alabama. Not today, but we do have a top 10 shocker. It is Penn State Boog on the road at UCLA, a team that was winless coming in.
Who says coaching doesn't matter, Kev? Think about this. UCLA interim coach Tim Skipper took an 0-4 team and beat the mighty Nittany Lions.
First time in 3 years Penn State loses back-to-back games, and their playoff hopes all but crushed. 42-37 the final, and this is a final in Gainesville moments ago on ESPN. Florida knocking off number 9 Texas 29-21.
DJ Lagway, what a day. He bounced back from the 5 picks against LSU. He had a day in the swamp.
Full highlights coming your way. Also a preview is Tommy Castellanos leading the number 1 scoring offense in the country. Florida State Miami kickoff 35 minutes away.
911, what's your emergency?
We form a bond stronger than blood because ours is a family forged in fire.